court ruling frozen embryos qualify as people under its state law. For doctors like Mamie McLean, it's created a lot of uncertainty.
And it leaves those of us who are sitting face to face with patients just with the inability to comment on what is safe and what is legal for them.
The ruling indicates anyone who destroys embryos could face a possible wrongful death lawsuit. Ramped up efforts to combat what Vice President Kamala Harris calls a public health crisis. The VP announcing nearly $6 billion in additional funding to replace lead pipes nationwide.
Lead is a poison. It stunts growth. It causes damage to the brain. It affects a child's ability to learn.
The funding comes from the bipartisan infrastructure law. It brings the total amount of announced clean water funding to $22 billion. Live from the KSL National News Desk, I'm Maria Chaleos, KSL News Radio.
Brad Wilson is officially on the primary ballot, and so far, he's the only Republican on the ballot for Mitt Romney's Senate seat. He has submitted the required signatures, 28,000 of them. Primary day, by the way, June 25th. Senator Mike Lee doesn't like the Count My Vote initiative. 10 years ago, that bill opened a pathway in Utah to get candidates on the primary ballot through signatures. To celebrate the 10th anniversary, Senator Lee expressed his opposition. KSL political consultant Taylor Morgan says it isn't the first time that Lee has gone online to call out the process, and it probably won't be the last.
And I think just given the timing of the 10-year anniversary combined with the upcoming, now less relevant party presidential preference vote on March 5th, Mike Lee just had some free time this weekend and decided to put us on blast.
Senator Lee qualified for the ballot in 2022 by gathering signatures. It's not often business leaders say, hey, government, you should spend $100 million. But Salt Lake business leaders are calling on the legislature to spend that much and more fighting homelessness, exactly as Governor Cox requested.
The Salt Lake Chamber hosted the meeting alongside leadership from local businesses. Derek Miller with the Chamber recognized what they believe has made a difference this season.
This improvement is thanks in part to the 600 temporary winter shelter beds and increased enforcement of no camping laws.
Homeless coordinator Wayne Niederhauser reminded the room that plan is only temporary through April, unless that budget, which includes more hours for law enforcement, behavioral health services, and a permanent facility, is approved.
What we need is a facility that we can run year-round, that people can stay in it until they get back on their feet.
Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
KSL News Time 3:05. To be 17 again with more hair, more energy, and you don't have to pay taxes? A bill moving forward in the full Utah House would eliminate the state income tax for working Utahns aged 17 or younger. Representative Kira Birkeland points out these kids don't get to vote, so it's taxation without representation. KSL News Time 3:05. First look traffic. Ricky Meese is here. How was your President's Night?
No, not too bad at all. Kind of quiet. For those who are back to work today, we are still looking at a nice and quiet drive on the Valley freeways. A little bit of traffic building southbound Mountain View corridor in Bluffdale, and downtown drivers watch for 2 vehicle crashes, 700 South, 700 East. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Thank you, Ricky. My minute's on the way next, and something you never knew about Joe Biden. Stay right here.
I just elevated my checking account with Utah Community Credit Union. Tim, I'm so blown away at what I get with my elevated checking account at UCCU. I get so many benefits. I get cell phone protection and roadside assistance. The one that blows me away the most is telehealth. I actually get zero copay telehealth with my checking account from UCCU.
Did you know you also get a 0.25% loan discount? It's one of the many things. And if you like to travel or you're on the road quite a bit, a free ATM nationwide, 30,000 ATM locations that you can use while you're out.
Utah basketball star Walker Kessler and Utah Community Credit Union have come together to announce this brand new elevated checking account with more benefits, more savings, more online protections than ever before.
Yeah, there's even something for dark web monitoring, which I have never heard of before, but you can find out more by just going to uccu.com.
And open an elevated checking account online or stop by any branch.
UCCU, you're going to love where you bank.
If you've ever set New Year's resolutions before, you know how difficult it is to follow through because you have to wait to see the results. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and in honor of your New Year, New You resolutions, Any Hour Services is having our New Year, New System sale. From now until the end of February, Any Hour Services will give you $2,024 off a new furnace and air conditioner, and you don't have to wait to save the money. You get $2,024 off at the time of purchase. The only thing you have to do to qualify for our New Year, New System sale is call Any Hour Services and schedule a free estimate. When you call, there's no obligation to buy. Just schedule a time to meet that works best for you. Let me say that again. From now until the end of February, when you have Any Hour Services install a new furnace and air conditioner, we'll give you $2,024 off. Call Any Hour Services right now and schedule a free estimate. 801-443-7400. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
A legacy of news and information going back generations.
I'll have the radio on. I learned that from my mom. She's listened to KSL her whole life, and I grew up listening to KSL radio too.
I really enjoy listening in the morning.
We have you covered at KSL News Radio.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. When you think about how old Joe Biden is, it's hard to imagine his great-great-grandfather. You want to guess what year his papa's pappy was born? Because we learned something very, very interesting about Joe Biden's great-great-grandfather the other day. Moses Robinette was born way back in 1819. When he was in his 40s, he served in the Union Army in the Civil War.
Oh, we'll rally around the flag, boys, we'll rally once again, shouting the battle cry of freedom.
While Moses Robinette wore the uniform, he did not distinguish himself wearing it. Seems Joe Biden's ancestor got into a brawl, pulled a penknife, and stabbed a fellow Union soldier. We know this because the Washington Post has just unearthed the transcript from his court-martial, at which Robinette was found guilty of attempted murder. But the military judges had mercy. Recognizing that he was brawling with a much bigger man, they sentenced him to 2 years hard labor. But that's not the end of our story, because Moses Robinette's friends petitioned the president for a pardon, and it was granted by Abraham Lincoln. Robinette went free, leaving behind a previously unknown connection, undiscovered for 160 years, between Lincoln and Joseph Robinette Biden, great-great-grandson of a brawler.
Old man, look at my life. I'm a lot like you were.
So, does the fruit fall far from the tree? You decide.
Jeff Caplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes, brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Here's Ricky Meese.
A quiet start to your drive home on your Salt Lake County freeways. In fact, normal KSL travel times. Southbound I-15 downtown to Draper and from the Point to Provo. We have had some busy and sometimes slower traffic in spots northbound Bangerter Highway from 3500 south up to the 201 junction. And for those who may be traveling between the valley and the slopes, the road is clear in Big and Little Cottonwood Canyons. However, road restrictions remain in place. Michelle?
Well, we have a crash downtown. This is 700 south, 700 east. Something to watch for in that area. If you're leaving downtown headed northbound I-15, seeing good speeds from Salt Lake all the way to Ogden and beyond. Also looking good if you're on I-215 or Legacy. When you choose Performance Automotive in Bountiful, you're choosing convenience with Ford dealers inventory. Performance Ford Lincoln, Performance Honda, Performance Toyota, and Truck Country, all in one place. PerformanceBountiful.com. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
An atmospheric river moving in from California will provide more valley rain today, and mountain snow will take it. High of 50 this afternoon. Overnight, rain showers, 37. Tomorrow, 48. Rain again. Second half of the day should taper off. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
50 degrees and cloudy in Salt Lake City. So there's a new marriage between two credit cards, but was it made in heaven or elsewhere? The story's coming up. We're streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com. This is Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
All
remember back when we were kids, Mike Wilson and I used to hike down to the old fishing hole. Couple of 10-year-olds with fresh bait, bobbers, and dreams. I'd talk about my dream of being a newsman, and Mike would laugh. Then he'd tell me when he grew up, he was going to give everyone free furnace filters, and look at him now. Any Hour Services gives you a free 1-inch furnace filter when you make an appointment for a furnace tune-up. It's the most inexpensive way to avoid middle-of-the-night shivering and frantic phone calls for emergency repairs. Any Hour provides you a 29-point written report to help make sure your heat runs right through winter. I get the tune-up every year to keep my family safe and warm, but don't trust me. Check their 19,000 Google reviews and call Any Hour Services, 801-443-7400. Online, anyhourservices.com to schedule a furnace tune-up and get the free filter. Little boys' dreams do come true. As Mike would tell you, no one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
Are you stressing about your IRS tax problems? Have you received notices from the IRS threatening to garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, or seize your property? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has tax attorneys and enrolled agents that are ready to fight for you. They have saved millions for taxpayers just like you. Allies Tax Relief can help put a stop to IRS collections and, most importantly, negotiate your tax debt. Here's Brenda, a happy client of Allies Tax Relief.
I owed the IRS around $57,000, and they're about to start garnishing my paychecks. I heard a commercial on the radio about Allies Tax Relief, so I thought I'd give them a call. After a day, they were able to at least stop the garnishments, and after a few months of negotiations, I walked away owing the IRS only $301.
If you owe the IRS, call Allies Tax Relief right now for your free consultation. Call 800-647-0499. 800-647-0499. That's 800-647-0499.
I am a soul line dance instructor.
This is Rhonda.
I just love dancing, so I was always willing to dance through the pain, but it was really starting to catch up with me. I've had foot pain, leg pain, everything pain.
And this is Rhonda's Good Feet story.
I was using any and everything that I could to help alleviate the pain.
None of that worked. Until...
Since visiting the Good Feet store and incorporating the arch supports into my life, I definitely have not felt the pain. I can't even really verbalize just how much better I feel. My mood and my energy has just drastically improved. I'm still actually in awe wearing the arch supports and being pain-free now. I am able to dance longer. Dancing is just a joy.
Now that is one heck of a Good Feet story.
I do want to tell everyone about it.
And now you have.
So, yeah.
See how we can help you with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Stop by the Good Feet store in Farmington, Riverton, or Sandy for a free fitting. Call 1-800-NEW-FEET or visit mygoodfeet.com.
KSL News Time 3:15. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
reducing delays on the track's commuter trains is a priority for UTA. They have plans to replace all the old trains on the Blue Line and build a completely new line, which will have its own stations. I'm KSL News Radio's Heather Kelly.
Second, we just learned that a 12-year-old seriously burned in a campfire incident yesterday has passed away. The child from West Point was rushed to Primary Children's Hospital yesterday afternoon. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
Getting reports of a crash in Utah County on the exit ramp from southbound I-15 in Lehigh at the Main Street exit, and heads up downtown drivers. A two-car crash, 7th East, 700 South. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
More rain today and tomorrow. I'm Matt Johnson.
50 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios now. Our top national stories.
From ABC News. I'm Lindsay Davis, anchor of Prime, streaming weeknights on ABC News Live. With just days to go until the Republican presidential primary in South Carolina, Nikki Haley addressing supporters in Greenville, delivering a message about her candidacy.
I refuse to quit. South Carolina will vote on Saturday, but on Sunday, I'll still be running for president. I'm not going anywhere.
Haley, a former South Carolina governor, is trailing in the polls in her home state. President Biden in California this evening attending a campaign reception in Los Angeles. The U.S. vetoed a UN Security Council resolution proposed by Algeria, which called on Israel to implement an immediate ceasefire against Hamas in Gaza. Linda Thomas Greenfield, the U.S. ambassador to the UN, says the measure is irresponsible.
While numerous parties engage in sensitive negotiations, this is not the time for this resolution, which jeopardizes these efforts.
The U.S. is circulating a different plan.
The U.S. bringing forward a proposal at the UN Security Council for a temporary humanitarian pause, rejecting a counterproposal for a complete ceasefire. But Israel has said that it will move on Rafah next month if Hamas has not freed the hostages by Ramadan, sparking fears of mass civilian casualties.
ABC's Marcus Moore in Tel Aviv. The Fab Four are coming to the big screen. Sony Pictures and Apple joining forces to make 4 movies about the Beatles. Oscar winner Sam Mendes will direct all 4, one from each band member's point of view. The films are set to be released in 2027. You're listening to ABC News.
4 Beatles movies. Time now for the KSL In-Depth, and a deal that was in the cards, credit cards in this case, as Capital One announced it's buying Discover for $35 billion. ABC News correspondent Mark Remillard is joining us live. So, Mark, what does this mean for cardholders? Do we win? Do we lose in this deal? Both? Neither?
Yeah, it might be a little early to say. There's a lot of reasons why this deal might be going through right now, which, from Capital One and Discover's perspective, they're both getting something from this. Capital One is going to get access to Discover's payment network. So when you think of where credit cards are accepted, you often think of Visa and MasterCard, but Discover obviously has a payment network that Capital One then gets access to. That means fees coming in every time a credit card is swiped. Discover moves under their umbrella, and now all those customers get access to a bigger credit card provider. That might mean different credit card options, different rewards, things like that. So from that perspective, that's why these companies might be looking to go this route. But I think for the consumer and for the banking industry and financial industry at large, one thing to watch for here is this would likely reduce competition in this field because this is not Amex merging with Capital One, where Amex really targets luxury credit card consumers, people who spend hundreds of dollars a year to have their credit card and get, airport lounge access and luxury travel rewards. These cards from Capital One and Discover target people who want cash back, maybe low or no annual fees on their credit card, and they often market to people who have lower credit scores, to people who carry balances and pay interest on those balances. And so it's a different consumer that these two brands target, and now you're merging them under the same umbrella, less competition in that space.
So it could mean higher interest rates, or maybe it could mean they mess with the rewards programs. Could be, right?
Yeah, it could. It's hard to say what the effect will be on the consumer-facing front in terms of what specifically these companies or Capital One might do with their credit card offerings. Like, for example, if you have a Discover card right now, are they going to take that under their umbrella and eventually send you a Capital One card? Maybe, but is that if you have a Capital One card right now that has a Visa sticker on it because you can accept it at Visa, is that going to get changed to Discover? It's too early to say. But I think that this is where we're starting to see what this merger is really about is those companies both getting things from each other, but also really targeting the same consumer. And I think from the consumer perspective and the financial industry's perspective, less competition in that space, in the non-luxury credit card space.
First, it's going to need government approval, though. Thank you very much, ABC News correspondent Mark Remillard joining us live. It's 3:20. We have to move along to traffic and weather together, brought to you by Sinclair's DinoPay app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Here's Ricky Meese.
We are getting early reports over the scanners that we've had a rock fall in Little Cottonwood Canyon. That's SR 210. And I can see traffic coming to a stop. It is impacting traffic. That much we heard over the scanners. So if you're coming down from a day of skiing, it looks like traffic comes to a stop at about 7 miles prior to the mouth of Little Cottonwood Canyon. So it is in the lower half of the canyon. Be prepared for possible delays. And it looks like a backhoe. It's making its way into the canyon area to clear the roadway. Now, Salt Lake County Freeway is all clear. No problems there. We've had an accident on the exit ramp from southbound I-15 at Lehigh Main Street. And overall, kind of a quiet drive if you're traveling I-15 in Utah County on the main flow. It's delay-free. Michelle?
Well, Foothill Drive is already busy. You're going to see delays between the University of Utah headed down to I-80. We have a crash in downtown Salt Lake. This is 700 East and 700 South. But if you're making your way northbound I-15, leaving downtown, again, we're still seeing free and clear speeds all the way to Ogden and beyond. For a top-quality kitchen or bath with top-quality craftsmanship, call 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. They're always on time with no delays. And meet all deadlines. Visit 3daykitchen.com. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast, another mild atmospheric river moving on in. 50 degrees for a high today with rain likely. 48 tomorrow, we've got another round of showers. Looks like things clear out for Thursday, partly cloudy, 47. Still a slight chance to see a shower, but calling it partly cloudy. Mostly sunny, 51. Here comes the warmer weather Friday. Saturday, 53, 56 on Sunday. Back to the rain showers on Monday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Well, it's dry for the moment. 50 degrees in Salt Lake City. Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. And what's this? Walmart getting into the TV business? Stay right here.
All in all, you're just another brick in the wall. Jeff Caplan's Afternoon News on KSL News Radio.
Remember that first paycheck when you started working all those years ago? You looked at the net amount and thought, whoa, what happened here? Ah, the joy of taxes. It could be this way with your retirement accounts. You know how much you've saved, but if you haven't planned for Uncle Sam, you could come up short in retirement. With tax laws constantly changing, there's a lot you need to know to make sure you're not paying more than your fair share. Mike Stevens and the team at Capital Wealth Advisors can help you create a plan that shows you how taxes could affect you now and in the future. Set up your tax strategy session with Mike Stevens and Capital Wealth Advisors now. Call 801-210-5500. That's 801-210-5500. Make sure you know how these changes could affect you so you can avoid some of those whoa moments in retirement. Call 801-210-5500. Advisory services offered through Capital Wealth Advisors, LLC, a state of Utah registered investment advisor. Firm may not give tax advice.
Debbie, both you and I like to do it yourself. Whenever we can, we'll do it ourselves. One thing I will not mess with, the electrical work in my house. I'm just too nervous.
I second that. I don't touch electrical either. Never have, never will. That's why we need Master Electrical on our team. DIY? That's right. If you're DIYing a project, don't touch the electrical system in your house. Make sure you call Master Electrical.
And one of the things they'll do is they come out, they give you a bid. When you receive that bid for the work you want done, they honor that bid. So if it takes longer, if it's a little bit more difficult, they will just say, you know what? To keep a good relationship with you guys, I'm going to honor that bid no matter what.
And they're always open, even for emergency services. So you want to give them a call today. Their number to call is 801-543-2222. Again, you're calling Master Electrical at 801-543-2222.
Yeah, they serve everyone from Logan to Santa Quin. All you have to do is either call them, like you said, Deb, or check them out online at masterelectrical.com.
We're watching Utah's Money, brought to you by Utah First Credit Union. NVIDIA was briefly the third most valuable company in the U.S. last week. The chipmaker blew past Amazon and Google's parent company, but it didn't last. NVIDIA stock was down 4.5% today as Wall Street gets ready for tomorrow's NVIDIA earnings report. Walmart is buying Vizio. It's a company that makes TV screens. They're spending $2.3 billion to acquire Vizio. The strategy, this would allow Walmart to sell ads that appear on TV streaming services. Walmart stock up 3% on the news today. Well, during the pandemic, a lot of people retired, and now there's a second wave, leaving the country with 2.7 million more retirees than expected, a number that's up 80% over just the past 6 months. Wall Street today, the Dow down 64 points at 38,563. The S&P down 30. The NASDAQ losing 144 points. You might have heard this a few moments ago, a little bit more. If you're interested in the Beatles, get ready for 4 new movies.
Sony Pictures and Apple Corps Limited coming together to make not just one movie about the Beatles, but 4 movies about the Beatles. Each will tell the story of the band from the point of view of a different member. John Lennon, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, and George Harrison. Oscar-winning American Beauty director Sam Mendes will direct all 4 films, the first time Apple Corps and the Beatles and the heirs of Lennon and Harrison have given permission to put the legendary band's story on film. No word on casting, but we're told to expect the films in 2027. Jason Nathanson, ABC News. Hollywood.
For over 100 years and 4 generations, my family has provided quality installations from the most well-known brands in the heating and air conditioning industry. Hello, I'm Brian Jackson with Manuel Plumbing and Heating. Now, until March 1st, purchase a high-efficient home comfort system and receive a free bypass humidifier or a 5-inch media filter to complete your new system. Give us a call and let one of our knowledgeable sales staff provide a free in-home consultation on what Manuel can do for you and your home. Be sure to ask about rebates and our financing options. Call Manuel today, 801-262-4671.
KSL and the Movie Show will be at My Hearing Centers this Friday, 10 to 1. My Hearing Centers changes lives through better hearing. Visit myhearingcenters.com.
Can we talk about something difficult to discuss? Are you going through a difficult financial time? You have equity in your home, but nobody can help. I'm Jason Erskine with American Home Loans, and we have created the Bridge Loan Program to use your equity regardless of your credit at this time. The bridge loan can be used to pay debts, collections, IRS liens, divorce settlement, or just simply improve your property. Give us a call at 801-262-2221. This loan creates a bridge between now and a much brighter future. During COVID, one of our clients had over $85,000 on credit cards. Their scores were too low to borrow on their home. We were able to save them $2,000 a month, and after 8 months, they qualified for a conventional loan and improved their situation. Look, the consultation is free. Please let us see what we can do for you. Call 801-262-2221. That's 801-262-2221, or go to AmericanHomeLoans.com. That's AmericanHomeLoans.com.
NMLS 245422, Equal Housing Lender.
Join your friends who rely on KSL each morning for the fastest routes to work and school.
I like traffic on the 9s.
So I need to get the kids up earlier so that my son isn't driving quickly in a snowstorm.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 9s.
On KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Here's Ricky Meese.
We are still hearing reports of a possible rock slide impacting traffic in Little Cottonwood Canyon, SR 210, and we have seen big construction equipment getting up into the canyon. Possible delays if you're traveling from the slopes to the valley floor. Salt Lake County freeways, you are good to go. No accidents, no delays. I-15 in Utah County also in good shape. Michelle?
Well, we're looking at some slowdowns if you're on Foothill Drive. You're going to see those between the University of Utah and I-80 for drivers making their way northbound. Again, I-15 smooth sailing from downtown all the way to Ogden and beyond. Also looking good on Legacy and I-215. A free service for LDS singles powered by Professional Matchmaker. Join the free virtual speed dating event February 24th. Go to matchmakingsaints.com. Matchmakingsaints.com. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
Rain showers in the forecast for today, high of 50 degrees. Overnight, we're going to go 37 with a chance for showers. And then tomorrow, looks like the first half of the day, best chance for rain, then clearing, high of 48. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
In Ogden, that's the cold place, 44 degrees, 47 in Provo. Clouds up and down the state, except for southern Utah and St. George, 50 degrees, and it's raining.
You're listening to Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News
on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM
and 1160 AM.
Good afternoon, 3:30 at KSL. Jeff Kaplan here. It's 50 degrees. KSL's top story. Ruby Franke and her business partner Jody Hildebrandt are both going to prison, and they'll be there for a while. Sentencing was this morning. KSL News Radio's Amy Kobabe has the story.
Each were sentenced to 4 consecutive terms of 1 to 15 years. That means each term will be served one after another. They both pled guilty back in December, and they both apologized in court before the sentence was handed down. Here's Franke.
I took from you your mother. How terrifying this must have been for you. I will never stop crying for hurting your tender souls. You are each so precious to me. I'm sorry.
And here's Hildebrandt from a much shorter statement.
I am willing to submit to what the state feels would be an appropriate amount of time served to make retribution.
This all started back in August when one of Franke's children escaped from a window of Hildebrandt's home to ask neighbors for food and water. Amy Kobabe, KSL News Radio.
KSL legal analyst Greg Skordas joined Utah's Noon News. He said that Franke's remorse during sentencing was good to do on her part.
Once these two women get out to the prison, the only thing they can do to shorten their time is to accept responsibility acknowledge the wrongfulness of their conduct, take advantage of any classes or counseling or therapy that they can do, and make the most of their prison time.
Greg Skorda says even though Frankie and Hildebrand both received the same sentence, he expects the Board of Pardons to treat Hildebrand more harshly because they see her as the mastermind behind it all. A jarring story from Tooele where a child has been taken into custody after allegedly shooting and killing a 32-year-old family member. This suspect is 9 years old. KSL News Radio's Adam Small reporting from Tooele.
Police are saying this happened Friday night just before 7:30 at a home not far from West Elementary. Now, we are still working to figure out a lot of unanswered questions like what led up to this, how many shots were fired, how the child is related to the victim, or if the child has been charged. Tooele police say many of their officers have never dealt with a case involving a child so young, so they are just working carefully to handle such a sensitive case.
Police say they hope to have more information later in their investigation. The U.S. is using its veto power to reject a ceasefire in Gaza. Maria Chaleos is live at the KSL National News Desk.
Jeff, the U.S. is vetoing a UN resolution that would demand an immediate humanitarian ceasefire. U.S. Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield says the U.S. is in favor of ongoing negotiations with Israel and Hamas.
This hostage deal would bring an immediate and sustained period of calm to Gaza for at least 6 weeks. And from there, we could take the time to build a more enduring peace.
Prime Minister Netanyahu is vowing to press on in the war despite pressure from the UN. Mounting pressure on Moscow, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan says the Biden administration has approved a package of sanctions following the death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny.
We have worked persistently and diligently to continue to impose costs for what Russia has done, for what it's done to Navalny, for what it's done to Ukraine, and for the threat that it represents to international peace and security.
The war in Ukraine passes the 2-year mark this week. Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley says she's staying in the race for the party's nomination, whether or not she wins this week in South Carolina. Haley says she will not listen to calls from those in her party to quit and support Donald Trump.
I'm not afraid to say the hard truths out loud. I feel no need to kiss the ring. I have no fear of Trump's retribution.
Haley compares herself to David in a battle against Goliath. A 538 poll has Trump up more than 30 points in Haley's home state of South Carolina. Live from the KSL National News Desk, I'm Maria Chaleos, KSL News Radio.
Intermountain will start sending life flights to pick up canines. You know, police dogs injured in the line of duty.
Police dogs are, they're invaluable to law enforcement. In 200 plus years of innovation, with different tools like tasers and OC spray and all that stuff being invented, nothing has been invented or designed that can replace what a police dog can do for us.
Brigham City Police Chief Chad Reyes there. Canines that are injured will be flown to animal hospitals that have partnered with the program. State lawmakers want police to have more access to security videos. Details now on a new bill from KSL News Radio's Alexandria Bonilla.
This bill provides guidelines on when, where, how, and which surveillance cameras police can use to track somebody without a warrant. As of right now, there are little to no guidelines. This bill gives police access to footage in airports, correctional facilities, law enforcement facilities, schools, courthouses, and critical infrastructure buildings like utilities. There are other exceptions as well, like a situation with a high-risk attack that would affect multiple people.
It also adds an accountability factor. Under the measure, police will be required to log and audit their usage. KSL News Time, 3:35. Time to head home. We have First Look Traffic. Ricky Meese is here, so what's going on?
We're in the final cleanup stages of this Lehigh crash. It's at the bottom of the exit ramp from southbound I-15 at Lehigh Main Street. And downtown drivers, crews working on a crash at 7th South and 7th East. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Did you see this AI video thing that's been going around over the weekend? It's absolutely amazing. Stay here. My Minute of News is on the way next.
When Cynthia came to TurboTax, she had just launched her new side gig, a true crime podcast.
I'm a first-rate detective with a golden voice.
As her TurboTax expert, I made her second income count by guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and her maximum refund.
What did she do with that refund? Find out next week.
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
If you only have a 401k, you're not getting the most for retirement.
Wait, what?
Add a Robinhood IRA on top, then they'll boost it by 3%.
You can do that?
And if you transfer in any retirement account, you get 3% on top of that.
Is there a limit to the match?
No limit. Robinhood Gold gets you the biggest contribution match of any IRA on the market. Sign up for Robinhood Gold at Robinhood.com/boost by April 30th. Subscription fees apply.
Investing involves risk. 3% match requires gold for 1 year from first match. Must keep IRA for 5 years. Match on transfers subject to additional terms and conditions. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC.
Sometimes when our furnace stops working, it's something simple we can fix ourselves, if we only knew how. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and the next time your furnace stops working, before you call a company out to fix it, try this first. Go shut the furnace down and make sure your air filter is clean. Go around the house and make sure the vents are open and there's nothing blocking the return air. If it's been a while since you've changed the batteries in your thermostat, go ahead and do that too. Then go turn the furnace back on, and if it stays on, you're probably good. If it stops working again, you're probably going to want a technician to check it out. If you don't know one, Any Hour Services has a special offer for any homeowners listening. One of our HVAC technicians will diagnose and troubleshoot your furnace for only $29. Then they'll explain what they found and present you with repair options. And don't worry, our technicians service all brands. Call Any Hour Services and let them know you heard about this $29 troubleshooting special on the radio. 801-443-7400. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. We seem to be in a love-hate relationship with Hollywood. A lot of Utahns sneer at the self-importance of the stars and despise Hollywood's left-leaning morality. But when Tinseltown cranks out an Avengers or a Star Wars movie, we stuff the theaters full of Utahns, biggest ticket sales in America, so it's a love-hate relationship. And if you lean toward the hate, there's good news from OpenAI. The artificial intelligence company that created ChatGPT has invented AI that can make videos. You just type a one-paragraph description of what the video should look like, and this AI called Sora creates a realistic video. No cameras, no actors, no assistant directors, just you sitting at the computer typing that you want 2 pirate ships going into battle inside a cup of coffee. And boom, realistic video. Go ahead and Google it. You'll see that video. So in the future, you can have ChatGPT write the script, Sora creates the video, and suddenly Tinseltown is replaced by you and a decent laptop. It might be a ways off, but actors, makeup artists, writers, even the guy who snaps that slate could be replaced by computers. Hollywood becomes Hollywoodened. But also, Sora could be able to create convincing deepfakes of your favorite candidate, or even you doing the most unsavory and illegal things. Sure, it could kill Hollywood, but this technology could also destroy your reputation. So Hollywood haters, best be careful what you wish for.
Say goodbye to Hollywood. Say goodbye, my baby.
Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together, brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents per gallon. Lights, camera, action, Ricky Meese.
Yeah, and for those who are headed back home after a long holiday weekend, we're starting to see the drive kick in. If you're southbound, I-15 is filling in and slowing down at the South Interchange into Midvale. After that, you're good to go all the way to Provo. Pretty much clear on the rest of your Salt Lake County freeways, although it's been a little busy going northbound. I-215's west belt as you're passing about 5400 south in Taylorsville. Southbound Bangerter Highway heavy and slow 2100 to 3500 south, and we have a new accident called out in Sandy 7th East just south of 9400 south. Michelle?
Well, Foothill Drive really filling in and slowing down. This is between Sunnyside Avenue and I-80. For drivers making their way northbound I-15, again, still running free and clear. Freeway speeds from downtown Salt Lake all the way to Ogden and beyond. We are seeing some slowing, though. This is on the surface streets in Clinton and Roy. Experience classical music hits through a new lens. Utah Symphony's Masterworks Magnified performances featured themed and fun-filled concert events. Learn more at utahsymphony.org. I'm Michelle Rowan, the KSL Traffic Center.
We're looking at a mild high of 50 degrees today, but rain showers likely, especially as the day progresses. Overnight, we've got rain showers, 37 the low. Tomorrow, 48, rain likely, then clearing into the afternoon and evening. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
KSL News Time 3:42, 50 degrees in Salt Lake City. This is Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
You know that feeling? You flush the toilet and it goes down okay, but you feel like it used to really whoosh when it went down, and now it's more of a gurgle than a whoosh, and that's probably okay, but what if that gurgle instead of a whoosh means there's actually a bigger problem down there? Whipple that away. Making gurgly drains whoosh again is my job. Make your problem my problem. Whipple Service Champions. We can solve your sewer problems in just one day. Visit whipplethataway.com.
The KSL News Radio Movie Show comes to My Hearing Centers this Friday from 10 to 1. But first, discover what My Hearing Centers can do for you. My Hearing Centers uses advanced technology to diagnose and treat hearing loss. These comprehensive evaluations determine the best treatment options. Then enjoy lifetime support with regular check-ins, cleaning, and maintenance. Call My Hearing Centers at 801-701-1629 for details. 801-701-1629.
Grab your family and some gear and head to the 2024 Skijoring the Bear exhibition in Garden City on Friday, February 23rd. Bring your skis and join the race, or attend as a spectator to watch horses pull skiers through a course with jumps. Race divisions include Open, Novice, and Rookie, with buckles and cash prizes for the division winners. Everyone can enjoy food trucks, vendors, and more. Skijoring the Bear in Garden City, just west of Heritage Park. Helmets are required for skijoring, and you need to bring your own skis. Kids 10 to 12 are free. Great lodging deals can be found at bearlake.org. Attend this exhibition event on Friday, February 23rd to see or experience the excitement of skijoring. Visit skijoringthebear.com for more information. skijoringthebear.com.
Imagine your team always looking and feeling their best in high-performance technical workwear. Cintas can make it happen. They have garments for almost every job imaginable. And with the Cintas Workwear program, you get freshly laundered garments delivered every week for everyone on your team. Great garments without the bother of laundry. That's a real perk for employees. Find out how Cintas can boost team image and morale. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Put your phone on D&D, that means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D, that means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
KSL News Time 3:45. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
police in Tooele have arrested a 9-year-old child for allegedly shooting and killing an adult relative. I'm KSL News Radio's Adam Small.
Second, Brad Wilson is officially the only Republican on the ballot for Mitt Romney's Senate seat so far. Wilson announced today he's collected enough signatures. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
2 crashes on 7th East, one in downtown Salt Lake City at 700 South. The other one on the opposite end of the valley in Sandy just after 9400 South. Ricky Meese, the KSL Traffic Center.
Another round of wet weather today with a high of 50. I'm Matt Johnson.
And it is 50 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios now. Our top national stories.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. After a judge ordered Donald Trump to pay nearly $355 million in the civil fraud trial involving his family business, New York's Attorney General Letitia James, who filed the suit, tells ABC News she's prepared to seize Trump's assets if he doesn't come up with the fine.
If average New Yorkers went into a bank and submitted false documents, the government would throw the book at them. And the same should be true of former presidents.
Trump is vowing an appeal. With just days left before South Carolina's GOP presidential primary Saturday, Nikki Haley and former President Trump are campaigning across the state. Haley trails behind Trump, but vows to stay in the race and push ahead to March's Super Tuesday races. And in Texas, authorities say they've located the body of 11-year-old Audrey Cunningham. She was found in the Trinity River near Highway 59, about an hour northeast of Houston. The girl vanished last week. A person is in custody custody. This is ABC News.
Time now for the in-depth on KSL. An update to last year's controversial abortion clinic ban made it to the House floor today. The bill's sponsor, Carrie Ann Lisenby, says that she believes it will clear the way to ban abortion clinics in Utah.
It's our understanding in conversations that 467, some of the provisions, because they were immediately enjoined and attached to that underlying question, that it has complicated the question before the courts. And so hoping to remove those portions, because if the underlying trigger ban is decided, it makes pretty much everything else moot in the state of Utah with regards to abortion.
Translation, the matter is tied up in the courts, and this new bill would take it out of the courts and allow the measure to take effect, Lisenby expects. Meantime, Shireen Gorbani is the Chief Corporate Affairs Officer for Planned Parenthood of Utah. She told KSL-TV this bill is essentially a repeal from the clinic ban brought forward last year.
And it largely repeals the entire bill and leaves in place what we have right now is a trigger ban went into effect that is now being held in the courts. So we have abortion legal up to 18 weeks in Utah. This clinic ban was another way to further restrict people's access to the kind of health care that they need to abortion access. And that now is being repealed. So this is a bit of a confusing argument because the trigger ban is in front of the state Supreme Court. The clinic ban is not in that case specifically in front of the state Supreme Court. Generally, what we believe is that it's really important for Utahns to understand that both of these are avenues by which their access to life-saving care, to abortion care, will be restricted. Why she's repealing this clinic ban is really a great question for the representative. It does not make sense to us on the surface, though again, we support repealing bans that restrict people's access to the care they need.
That's Shireen Gorbani from Planned Parenthood. Representative Lisenby says she has every confidence the trigger ban will be upheld. KSL News Time, 3:49. It's time for traffic and weather together. We're brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents per gallon. Ricky Meese is here with a look at the rush.
We do have some busy and sometimes slower traffic on southbound I-15 in Salt Lake County, especially as you're approaching and passing the I-80-201 junction. And again, Murray and Midvale after that. Good speeds all the way to Provo. All clear on the rest of your Salt Lake County freeways. Bangerter Highway, seeing traffic already building and slowing down. On the southbound side, it's from California Avenue to about 4500 south. A little bit of building on the northbound side. Higher elevations, you will see some wet road conditions, and we also have a crash in Sandy, 7th East, about 9400 south. Michelle?
Well, filling in and slowing down, this is Foothill Drive between Sunnyside Avenue and I-80 for drivers heading northbound I-15. Looking at just a little bit of congestion as you're approaching the Beck Street merge there. But once you get past that, you're seeing really good speeds all the way to Ogden. In Ogden, though, we do have a little bit of slowing, though. This is on 12th Street. Cypress checking account members enjoy discounted rates on auto and RV loans, free access to their credit scores and reports, and a suite of other products and perks. Learn more at cypresscu.com. Cypress Credit Union, your future is our future. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast, high of 50 today, but the rain will accompany us into the afternoon. 48 tomorrow, first half of the day looks rainy. 47, partly cloudy on Thursday. Friday, 51, mostly sunny. It's mid-50s for the weekend, folks. Saturday, 53, partly cloudy. Sun and clouds on Sunday, 56. Another storm set to move in on Monday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Yeah, 50 degrees, but we can't shake this rain. Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. We'll check on the markets in just a moment. Stay with us.
Caplan's Afternoon News on KSL News Radio.
you're mine.
I lock up my Old Spice Fiji aluminum-free dry spray to keep that 24/7 lasting freshness safe for myself. Fresh coconuts, palm trees in the wind. It's like catching waves in Fiji. Actually, I just talked myself into a refreshing spritz of Fiji. My Old Spice is missing! No!
The venue's set. Families coming in from all over. It's our quinceañera. With all the excitement, it may be easy to overlook COVID-19. It's still a risk, and that's why it's muy importante to get this season's COVID-19 shot ahead of time. It helps protect against COVID-19, which can cause severe illness and hospitalization. So let's set the date, vaccinate, and celebrate. Learn about a vaccine option and book this season's updated COVID-19 shot today at schedulecovidvax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-530-9353. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-530-9353. That's 800-530-9353. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Any Hour Services can help you make sure your furnace keeps you warm this winter. Whether you need a tune-up, a repair, or a second opinion about replacing it, call Any Hour Services or visit anyhourservices.com.
Hi, it's Tori DeVito. In every family, small conversations can make a big impact. Like when my dad shared his experiences as an alcoholic.
Your honesty about that part of your life gave me a sense of integrity that I wanted to uphold in my own life.
I wanted you to know from someone who's been in recovery more than 30 years now that hard work is what creates success, not alcohol or other drugs. I said it a lot, and I'm glad you took it to heart.
Talk, they hear you. For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
The nationally ranked Cougars are on a roll.
Foose dives low, wait up, and good! Drops it over the 10 for 2.
Tonight, it's BYU, Baylor.
It's out to Robinson, long 3. Oh, man! He just made a 30-footer!
Pregame is at 6 and tip-off at 7. Listen tonight. BYU, Baylor, on Utah's legacy home of Big 12 basketball and the BYU Cougars. KSL News Radio.
We're watching Utah's Money, brought to you by Utah First Credit Union. Fubo TV is suing 3 of the biggest entertainment companies in the world. Fubo bills itself as a sports-focused cable replacement. Their lawsuit says the recent sports streaming agreement between Disney, Fox, and Warner Brothers suppresses competition. Elon Musk says the human they implanted with a Neuralink brain chip can now control a computer mouse just by thinking. Musk, who owns Neuralink, says they're now working on how to click on buttons just by thinking, click the OK button, and the mouse does it without touching anything. Hispanic, Black, and Asian Americans are buying more homes. New data from the National Association of Realtors shows the ownership rates for these groups jumped over the last decade, the biggest home ownership gains among Asians and Hispanics. On Wall Street today, down day, the Dow off 64 points. It closed at 38,563, the S&P down 30, the NASDAQ losing 144 points. Time now for Cougar Tracks at 3:56. Here's KSL Sports BYU insider Mitch Harper.
BYU basketball stayed in the AP Top 25 poll this week, checking in at number 25. It sets the stage for a Top 25 clash tonight at the Marriott Center against number 11 Baylor. Baylor is making their first trip to Provo since 2011. In that season, number 6 Baylor escaped an upset bid from BYU with an 86-83 victory. Baylor head coach Scott Drew remembers that game and the atmosphere in the Marriott Center.
going into that game, we heard how what a great environment and what great fans BYU had. And I remember that was an outstanding game, came down to the last seconds, and one of the louder places we played in and have played in, period. Great respect for their fan base and just their game management, how they do things.
BYU versus Baylor tips off tonight at 7 p.m. with pregame coverage beginning at 6 right here on KSL and the KSL News Radio app. With Cougar Tracks, I'm Mitch Harper on your legacy home of the BYU Cougars, KSL News Radio.
We're brought to you by Central Bank CB Vault, Utah's help center for startups and entrepreneurs. Visit cbutah.com.
Are you a startup, entrepreneur, or business owner looking for funding? Look no further than Central Bank's CB Vault, Utah's help center for startups and entrepreneurs. CB Vault understands the unique challenges faced by business owners. CB Vault is here to help you start, grow, or thrive with a dedicated help center for startups and entrepreneurs, providing personalized financial solutions, networking, and guidance for every step of the way. With a range of services tailored for startups and small businesses and expert financial advice to flexible loan options, CB Vault helps you get funding and allows you to keep your equity. Whether you're seeking funding, planning expansion, or navigating the financial landscape, CB Vault's team of experts is ready to assist you in turning your vision into reality. Don't let financial barriers hold you back. Central Bank's CB Vault is here to unlock your business potential. Visit CB Vault today at cbutah.com. Central Bank, voted best bank in Utah Valley. Strong, local, secure. Since 1891. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Gillette Heating and Air Conditioning is offering furnace maintenance for 30% off. Call 385-GET-HEAT today to take advantage of this limited time offer. Carrier, turn to the experts.
All in together now, we can make it better. Can we do it? We'll rope it up.
Cause we know how to jump. Moving and eating better every day can help make you and your kids healthier. Search We Can online to find out more. A message from the Ad Council, HHS, and NIH's We Can program.
Spend time with KSL News Radio and get a deeper understanding of the world around us.
I do listen to KSL so much because you've got voices like Boyd Matheson.
I listen to him every day.
You can trust him.
Inside Sources, weekdays 1 to 3.
On KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes, brought to you by Sinclair's DinoPay app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Here's Ricky Meese.
Traffic filling in and slowing down southbound I-15 from downtown almost to 33rd South, and again from 53rd to 72nd. After that, you're good to go all the way to Provo. Clear on the rest of your Salt Lake County freeways, although it is getting a little busy. Westbound on the 201 approaching the West Belt. And a crash in Sandy, 7th East, 9400 South. Michelle?
Well, we still have some slowdowns. This is Foothill Drive between Sunnyside Avenue and I-80 for drivers making their way northbound I-15. A little bit of slowing around 2300 North, braking free once you get past that minor congestion. And we're also still seeing good speeds on Legacy and I-215. Don't miss the Park City Gallery Association's monthly gallery stroll the last Friday of each month. Shop, dine, and get inspired by supporting local. Visit ParkCityGalleryAssociation.com. ParkCityGalleryAssociation.com. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
More rain tonight. In fact, tomorrow, rain showers and 48-degree showers are going to end tomorrow night.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Good afternoon, 4 o'clock at KSL News Radio. I'm Jeff Caplan. 50 degrees, KSL's top story. A 9-year-old has been arrested in Tooele. Police say the child shot and killed an adult family member. KSL News Radio's Amy Kobabe is live in Tooele with what we know. Amy.
Jeff, police aren't saying much, citing the extremely sensitive nature of the case, but we know they were called to a home Friday for a 32-year-old man with an apparent gunshot wound to the head. He died the next day at the hospital. The 9-year-old was then taken into police custody. The neighborhood where this happened is quiet. A few neighbors who I spoke to all say they are shocked. Neighbors also tell me this family is relatively new to the area, but they would often see kids out front playing. Reporting live in Tooele, Amy Kobabe, KSL News Radio.
Thanks, Amy. The New York Attorney General is threatening to seize Donald Trump's assets. Maria Chaleos is live at the KSL National News Desk.
Jeff, AG Letitia James told ABC News that she's prepared to seize Donald Trump's assets if he doesn't come up with a $355 million fine. She is countering Trump's claim that the case lacked any victims.
Financial frauds are not victimless crimes. And it wasn't just a simple mistake, a slight oversight. The variations were wildly exaggerated, and the extent of the fraud was staggering.
She says Trump's skyscraper at 40 Wall Street is one of the buildings she would not hesitate to seize. In breaking news, Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley is coming to Utah next week. KSL.com reports Haley will hold a rally at the Nordis Center for the Performing Arts on Utah Valley University's campus in Orem. The rally on the morning of February 28th, but no further details are available. Murder charges are filed today related to the Kansas City Chiefs shooting. Dominic Miller, Lyndall Mays are each facing murder and weapons charges. Prosecutor Gene Peters Baker says Mays pulled out his gun first after an argument escalated into a shootout. She also says more charges could be filed.
That's just two individuals, and I think this investigation is still very, very active and ongoing.
Investigators say it was Miller's bullets that killed radio DJ Lisa Lopez Galvin. And a historic ruling from the Alabama Supreme Court could impact the future of in vitro fertilization. The court ruling that frozen embryos qualify as people under state law. Dr. Mamie McLean says the ruling is confusing.
We're concerned that this ruling has far-reaching consequences for what we feel is safe to freeze and safe to discard.
The Alabama ruling indicates anyone who destroys embryos could face a possible wrongful death lawsuit. Live from the KSL National News Desk, I'm Maria Chaleos, KSL News Radio.
Senate candidate Brad Wilson has become the first to gather enough signatures to get on the ballot. Wilson is one of several Republicans running for Mitt Romney's Senate seat. It takes 28,000 valid signatures to get on the GOP primary ballot. Primary day is June 25th. Senator Mike Lee is criticizing the process that got him on the primary ballot in 2022. Lee posted on X that the Count My Vote initiative should be repealed. The law allows candidates to get on the primary ballot via collecting signatures. KSL political consultant Taylor Morgan says Utah Republicans would rather voters attend caucuses and conventions.
Unfortunately, the parties here in Utah have not made it easier to attend caucus convention, and so voters are choosing to participate in other ways, and that makes the party worried because they're losing their own internal process that used to be the only way to get on the ballot here in Utah.
Taylor says this isn't the first time that Lee, the senator, has called out this process, and it won't be the last. Students applying to the University of Utah won't have to submit their standardized test scores for admission. The U has dropped the requirement during the pandemic, but now they say they haven't seen a big change in achievement with students who got in without the standardized test scores. Salt Lake City's business community is backing the governor's plan to spend $100 million plus. The governor wants to put the money toward the homeless crisis.
The Salt Lake Chamber hosted the meeting alongside business leadership from City Creek Center and Little America Hotel with a united message that they feel the past 6 months has made a difference downtown.
This improvement is thanks in part to the 600 temporary winter shelter beds and increased enforcement.
That was the Chamber's president, Derek Miller. The state's homeless coordinator, Wayne Niederhauser, was also a speaker and echoed their support for a more permanent solution.
What we need is a facility that we can run year-round, that people can stay in it until they get back on their feet.
The budget would support this, more hours for law enforcement and behavioral services. Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints Provo Temple will close this week for reconstruction. When it reopens, it won't just look different, it's going to have a new name. The Provo, Utah Temple will now be called the Provo, Utah Rock Canyon Temple. KSL News Time 4:05. Now first look traffic. Ricky Meese, how are we doing? Early rush?
Oh, crash free on your Salt Lake County freeways. That's the good news. But we do have traffic a little heavy and slow northbound I-15 from 2100 south to the 6 south exit downtown. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
So I know something about President Biden that you don't. Yet, stay here.
Believe it or not, most small businesses don't have a 401k. If you don't have a 401k, you are missing out on the greatest wealth creation tool ever created. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and many 401ks are overpriced for the employer, have expensive and underperforming investment options, and have tedious administrative provisions. Not at Trajan Wealth. We can set up a 401k for a company for only $8 per employee, a $65 per plan fee, plus a small advisory fee. That's right, not thousands or even the tens of thousands you've been quoted. And do it all in less time than it takes to sit in traffic. If you have 5 or more employees, these 401ks will help you attract and retain top talent. And if you're an employee and don't have a 401k, tell your boss. Call Trajan Wealth today. Call 801-899-7600. That's 801-899-7600.
Services offered through a third-party partner.
Senate Bill 210 is a medical emergency at the Utah legislature. Ophthalmologists and optometrists are not the same. Optometrists don't complete medical school, no hospital internship, and no surgical residency. Ophthalmologists are medical doctors with years of surgical training on real patients. Now, optometrists want to perform surgery using lasers on the only eyes you'll ever have. Optometrists are not medical doctors, yet they want Senate Bill 210 to suddenly make them surgeons. Does that make sense to you? Your state senator can help stop this nonsense by voting no. It takes years of training to make a surgeon. No bill can ever change that. Tell your senator to keep Utah eyes safe. Vote no on Senate Bill 210.
Paid for by the Utah Ophthalmology Society.
Voters in South Carolina finally cast their vote for president this week.
Honestly, I think we need a woman.
This is not Nikki Haley country in South Carolina.
Does it give Nikki Haley new life or cement a 2024 standoff between Joe Biden and Donald Trump? Listen this week as the primary day arrives. Your Voice, Your Vote 2024 on KSL News Radio.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. When you think about how old Joe Biden is, it's hard to imagine his great-great-grandfather. You want to guess what year his papa's pappy was born? Because we learned something very, very interesting about Joe Biden's great-great-grandfather the other day. Moses Robinette was born way back in 1819. When he was in his 40s, he served in the Union Army in the Civil War.
Oh, we'll rally around the flag, boys, we'll rally once again, shouting the battle cry of freedom.
While Moses Robinette wore the uniform, he did not distinguish himself wearing it. Seems Joe Biden's ancestor got into a brawl, pulled a penknife, and stabbed a fellow Union soldier. We know this because the Washington Post has just unearthed the transcript from his court-martial, at which Robinette was found guilty of attempted murder. But the military judges had mercy. Recognizing that he was brawling with a much bigger man, they sentenced him to 2 years hard labor. But that's not the end of our story, because Moses Robinette's friends petitioned the president for a pardon, and it was granted by Abraham Lincoln. Robinette went free, leaving behind a previously unknown connection, undiscovered for 160 years, between Lincoln and Joseph Robinette Biden, great-great-grandson of a brawler.
Old man, look at my life, I'm a lot like you were.
So, does the fruit fall far from the tree? You decide.
Jeff Caplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Your traffic and weather together every 10 minutes, brought to you by Sinclair's DinoPay app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Here's Ricky Meese.
Bogged down on the northbound side of I-15 in Salt Lake County, 2100 south to the 6 south exit downtown. Southbound I-15, the usual slowing. Murray and Midvale, 53rd to 72nd south. Also starting to see some traffic getting a little busy westbound on the 201 approaching the West Belt, but we are crash-free on your Salt Lake County freeways. Mark?
You know, Jam Cam, I-15 at Lehigh Main Street shows an unusually good ride actually there, despite a crash reported on the on-ramp at Main Street. Don't see any significant backups on I-15 in Utah County right now. SR-36 has sluggish volume, not solid. Lake Point down to Tooele Main Street. And Big 3, Bang It, or 5600 West and Mountain View Corridor right now look pretty good. Michelle?
Still looking at some slowdowns for drivers on Foothill Drive. This is as you're approaching 1300 South south headed down toward I-80. For drivers making their way northbound I-15, still seeing good conditions in Davis and Weber counties. I do see some slowdowns, though, if you're on Antelope Drive, just west of I-15 in the Syracuse area. Two Brothers Mattress, your locally owned Serta mattress dealer. President's Day sale happening now at all Two Brothers Mattress locations and online at twobrothersmattress.com. I'm Michelle Rowan, the KSL Traffic Center.
We're looking at a mild high of 50 degrees today, but rain showers likely, especially as the day progresses. Overnight, we've got rain showers, 37 the low. Tomorrow, 48, rain likely, then clearing into the afternoon and evening. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Still dry, 50 degrees in Salt Lake City. Did you hear what The Rock said about Utah Friday night? Did you hear this? It's so harsh. His words could melt Mount Timpanogos. Stay here. We're streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com. We're on the KSL News Radio app. This is Utah's news, traffic, and weather station. I remember back when we were kids, Mike Wilson and I used to hike down to the old fishing hole. Couple of 10-year-olds with fresh bait, bobbers, and dreams. I'd talk about my dream of being a newsman, and Mike would laugh. Then he'd tell me when he grew up, he was going to give everyone free furnace filters, and look at him now. Any Hour Services gives you a free 1-inch furnace filter when you make an appointment for a furnace tune-up. It's the most inexpensive way to avoid middle-of-the-night shivering and frantic phone calls for emergency repairs. Any Hour provides you a 29-point written report to help make sure your heat runs right through winter. I get the tune-up every year to keep my family safe and warm, but don't trust me. Check their 19,000 Google reviews and call Any Hour Services, 801-443-7400. Online, anyhourservices.com to schedule a furnace tune-up and get the free filter. Little boys' dreams do come true. As Mike would tell you, no one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
Imagine talented vocalists performing your favorite songs with the full power of the Utah Symphony. Our Pop series features amazing guest artists performing pop, rock, jazz music, and more in collaboration with the orchestra, bringing you an elevated concert experience sure to blow you away. Join the Utah Symphony on March 1st and 2nd at Marisa Brovnal Hall for a thrilling tribute to Louis Armstrong and the jazz standards he made famous. A Grammy-nominated singer and jazz trumpeter join for songs like Someone to Watch Over Me, I Got Rhythm, The Birth of the Blues, and many more. This tribute to Louis' legacy is guaranteed to jazz up your night out on the town. Then, on April 12th and 13th, groove as the symphony is joined by the ABBA show band celebrated by millions worldwide. With powerhouse singers, vibrant costumes, and infectious energy, Direct from Sweden delivers hit after hit, the music of ABBA. Get your tickets at utahsymphony.org/pops.
Get your tickets for the Utah Symphony Pops concert series at utahsymphony.org.
When Cynthia came to TurboTax, she had just launched her new side gig, a true crime podcast.
I'm a first-rate detective with a golden voice.
As her TurboTax expert, I made her second income count by guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and her maximum refund.
What did she do with that refund? Find out next week.
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
If you only have a 401k, you're not getting the most for retirement.
Wait, what?
Add a Robinhood IRA on top, then they'll boost it by 3%.
You can do that?
And if you transfer in any retirement account, you get 3% on top of that.
Is there a limit to the match?
No limit. Robinhood Gold gets you the biggest contribution match of any IRA on the market. Sign up for Robinhood Gold at Robinhood.com/boost by April 30th. Subscription fees apply.
Investing involves risk. 3% match requires gold for 1 year from first match. Must keep IRA for 5 years. Match on transfers subject to additional terms and conditions. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC.
Thanks for joining us. KSL News Time 4:15. The 3 things you need to know this hour. First,
YouTuber Ruby Franke and her business partner Jody Hildebrandt are both sentenced to serve 4 consecutive prison sentences of 1 to 15 years. They both pled guilty to aggravated child abuse last year. I'm KSL News Radio's Amy Coben.
Second, Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley is reportedly coming to Utah next week. She's going to hold a rally at UVU. 3rd, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
A new crash in Weber County. This is southbound Washington Boulevard at 24th Street in Ogden, but completely out of traffic over to the right shoulder. And delays for northbounders on I-15 in Salt Lake County between 33rd South down to the 6th South exit to downtown. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
A holiday storm that's going to stick around. I'm Kevin Eubank.
48 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios now. Our top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Daria Albinger. New York's top law enforcement officer says she'll make sure Donald Trump pays if he can't come up with the cash to pay off that $355 million in fines and interest in his civil fraud case.
If he does not have funds to pay off the judgment, then we will seek judgment enforcement mechanisms in court, and we will ask the judge to seize his assets.
Attorney General Letitia James speaking to ABC News. New York Judge Arthur Engoron leveled the fine last week, finding that the former president had inflated his net worth to get better bank loan terms. She's in for the long haul. That from Nikki Haley heading into Saturday's Republican presidential primary in her home state of South Carolina.
I'm not afraid to say the hard truth out loud. I feel no need to kiss the ring. I have no fear of Trump's retribution.
But she is trailing the former president by double digits. The U.S. is preparing more sanctions against Russia following the death of Alexei Navalny.
The president this Friday will announce new and even tougher Russian sanctions.
To hold Russia accountable for Navalny's death in prison and for its actions over the course of the vicious and brutal war they have waged in Ukraine for the past 2 years.
State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller not offering specifics or explaining how those sanctions will be more effective than the dozens already imposed. Andy Field, ABC News, Washington.
The body of 11-year-old Audrey Cunningham has been found in a river in Polk County, Texas.
My heart aches with this news, and I express with my deepest sympathies and condolences to everyone who knew, who cared for, and loved Audrey.
Sheriff Byron Lyons. Audrey had been missing since February 15th. 2 adults are under arrest in connection with the mass shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl parade last week. The Dow fell 64 points. You're listening to ABC News.
And time for the KSL In-Depth. Did you hear what The Rock said about Utah Friday night? On national TV, there he is, standing in the middle of the ring at the Delta Center. The Rock embraced his new role as professional wrestling bad guy.
Finally. Oh, you want to boo that, huh? Are you sure you want to boo The Rock? Finally, your life has meaning. Finally, you and your 50 wives will have a story to tell. And you know what I'm talking about. You'll have a story to tell your 600 inbred grandchildren one day. And that is what it's like to look at greatness in the flesh, because finally, The Rock has come back to Salt Lake City. You all have bought a side out of The Rock that you haven't seen in years. But you see, this side of The Rock has always been in here. Always. You shut your mouth, fatty. The Rock will come out there and slap the herpes off your lips. It's a side that you haven't seen The Rock, but it's been in here all along.
I'm sorry. That's from WWE SmackDown, and The Rock, tongue-in-cheek, smacking at Utah. And honestly, the crowd here ate it up. KSL News Time, 4:19. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes, brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents per gallon. Here's Ricky Meese.
Well, for those headed southbound I-15 to get home in Salt Lake County, not too bad of a drive. Some wet road conditions out there, but heavy and slow. Murray to Midvale, approaching and passing the South Interchange. It's northbound I-15 that's been bogged down, and that's from 33rd South to about the 6th South exit. Also starting to see some spots of slowing southbound on the West Belt, scattered between the I-80 junction and 3500 South. Mark?
UDOT jam cam on I-15 shows Lehigh Main Street and the freeway there look pretty good despite a crash that has been reported by UDOT in the area. Don't see any big backups in Utah County on I-15. Some of the streets in Provo getting a little bit backed up as usual, including University Avenue. Bangerter Highway, Mountain View, and 5600 West all look their typical slowdowns through West Valley on the west side. Michelle.
Well, we're just about clear with this crash in Ogden. This is Washington Boulevard at 24th Street. Again, it is off to the right. Now, if you're headed south, northbound I-15, seeing good speeds from downtown all the way to Ogden. We have some congestion, though. This is on Antelope Drive, just west of I-15. Common Spirit Hospitals, clinics, and caregivers all connected to advanced healthcare in Colorado, Kansas, and Utah. Healthcare with Human Kindness is here. Hello, Human Kindness. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. Kevin Eubank, can you smell what The Rock is cooking?
I cannot, Jeff, and I'm grateful I cannot. But thank you for asking. I can smell the rain outside. Valley rain and mountain snow. It's been a little scattered and a little light here in Salt Lake City, but heavier up in our mountains. We've had anywhere from 8 to 12 inches of snow from the Cottonwoods up to Snow Basin, south to Park City. And the storm is going to continue tonight into the day tomorrow. More valley rain and mountain snow. Valleys get 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch of additional rainfall, and the mountains get an additional 8 to 14 inches of snow, northern and southern mountains. So this is another good storm. It'll last through the day tomorrow. Partly cloudy on Thursday, high of 46. Mostly sunny on Friday, Saturday, with temperatures back in the 50s.
Sounds pretty good. If it's dry.
It doesn't smell like a rock, I'll tell you that much.
KSL News Time, 4:22. It's 50 degrees in Salt Lake. Thank you, Kevin.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-day kitchen and bath.
Rochelle talks about her experience with 3-day kitchen and bath.
It was a wonderful experience. I had heard about them on the radio. They come out to your house. They let you know what they do. They let you pick out your features, your colors, and then they come into your home the morning they start. They walk you through, this is what's going to happen, and you leave for a few days, and you come home, and it's done.
Was it easy?
It made it easy because you're not in the middle of a mess for 2 or 3 months. Left on a Tuesday morning, and it was done on a Thursday night. We came home Friday morning early because we were so excited.
What was your reaction when you first saw it?
Wow.
It's about time.
3 days or less
at 3-day kitchen and bath.
The nationally ranked Cougars are on a roll.
Foose dives low, wait, up, and good! Drops it over the 10 for 2.
Tonight, it's BYU, Baylor.
It's out to Robinson, long 3. Oh, man! He just made a 30-footer!
Pregame is at 6 and tip-off at 7. Listen tonight, BYU, Baylor, on Utah's legacy home of Big 12 basketball and the BYU Cougars. KSL News Radio.
We're watching Utah's Money, brought to you by Utah First Credit Union. As its lunar lander gets ever closer to the moon, stock in the company that made it continues to rise. Intuitive Machines was up 65% today as their spacecraft streaks toward a soft landing on the moon just 4 days from now. If successful, it'll be the first soft landing on the moon in more than 50 years. For the first time in 5 years, American Airlines is raising baggage fees. $40 to check a bag. If you pay online, it's $35, but really, it's a 33% increase over the old rate, $30. NVIDIA was briefly the third most valuable company in the U.S. last week. The chip maker blew past Amazon and Alphabet, but it didn't last. NVIDIA stock was down 4.5% today as Wall Street gets ready for tomorrow's earnings report. And on Wall Street today, the market was down. The Dow losing 64 points, closing at 38,563. The S&P down 30. The Nasdaq down 144 points. The new season of True Detective ended strong.
There was nothing we could do.
A big night for True Detective Night Country. The finale Sunday night had the biggest audience of the season, 3.2 million viewers on HBO and streaming on Max. And when you look at total viewers in the days and weeks after each episode airs, HBO says this has been the most watched season, averaging 12.7 million viewers per episode.
That's ABC's Jason Nathans, and I want to talk about the finale, but I can't. You might not have seen it. I'm going to be polite here.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At SLCFatLoss.com, we know the secret. Our unique weight loss program makes it easy to lose weight, get healthy, and get your energy back naturally, safely, and effectively. If you'd like to lose unhealthy fat without counting points, no exercising, no prepackaged meals, no surgery, and no injections with the risk of serious side effects, go to SLCFatLoss.com now to schedule your free consultation in person or virtually.
This is Maria Chaleos. Make this the year that you get the extra weight off that is weighing you down. Do what I did and find out the secret to losing up to 1 pound per day with 20 to 30 pounds gone in about a month or two. Schedule your free consultation in person or virtually, SLCFatLoss.com.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to 1 pound per day. For your free private weight loss consultation, call 801-450-1882 or go to SLCFatLoss.com. That's SLCFatLoss.com. Results may vary.
Bigger stories demand more accountability, more experience, more trust.
If it's like an election day or we're expecting some bad weather, KSL presents the story. Unbiased. It's a good local source.
We have you covered at KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes, brought to you by Sinclair's DinoPay app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Here's Ricky Meese.
Scanners calling out a crash with injuries. 8,000 west, just south of 2400 south. Rain coming through, slowing down the drive on northbound I-15 with slowdowns from Murray to downtown. Spots of slowing southbound I-15 from about 9th south to 33rd and then from 53rd to 72nd. Mark?
Usual slow-moving traffic through West Valley on the Big 3 Mountain View, 5600 west and Bangerter Highway between California Ave and 3500 south. I-15 looks good in Utah County. SR 36 is okay down to Willa Main Street. Michelle?
Well, rain is also adding to the delays. This is on Foothill Drive going between Sunnyside Avenue and I-80 for drivers making their way northbound I-15. Still seeing good speeds on I-15 from Salt Lake all the way to Ogden. We're looking at some slowdowns, though. This is on Antelope Drive in Syracuse, just west of I-15. Get your money working at America First Credit Union with amazing rates on certificates up to 5.5% APY for a limited time. Visit AmericaFirst.com today to learn more. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
We've had a bit of a break from the storminess today, at least along the Wasatch Front, but another round moves in tonight and through the day on Wednesday. Look for developing valley rain and mountain snow, an overnight low of 38 with a high of 46 on Wednesday. Storm will taper off by Wednesday night, partly cloudy 46 on Thursday, back to sunshine and low 50s for Friday, Saturday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
Well, it certainly is gloomy in Ogden. 45 degrees, mostly cloudy in Provo. It's 47. Down in St. George, 50 degrees, and it's raining.
You're listening to Jeff Caplan's Afternoon News
on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM
and 1160 AM.
Good afternoon, 4:30 at KSL. Jeff Caplan here. It's 49 and cloudy in Salt Lake City. KSL's top story. Ruby Franke will spend several years in prison for aggravated child abuse.
I take full accountability for my choices, and it is my preference that I serve a prison sentence.
Frankie and her business partner Jody Hildebrand were sentenced this afternoon. KSL News Radio's Amy Kobabe has the story.
The two were each sentenced to 4 consecutive terms of 1 to 15 years in prison after pleading guilty. They were arrested last year after Frankie's son ran to a neighbor's in Ivans asking for food and water. Police noted at the time that he had lacerations on his arms after being tied up and was malnourished. Frankie apologized to her children before the sentence was handed down and thanked the officers who arrested her.
Ruby Frankie became famous for her 8 Passengers YouTube channel. KSL legal analyst Greg Skordas joined Utah's New News about the sentencing. He says it's likely they'll serve just under 4 years each.
The Board of Pardons doesn't have to give them any time. They're eligible for parole almost immediately. But my reading of their guidelines is about 39 to 40 months. Now, these two are much more aggravated cases than most, and they try to be objective with these guidelines and treat everyone the same. They're probably not going to be treated the same.
Greg says Frankie's remorse during the sentencing could be to her benefit. Police have a 9-year-old in custody, the child accused of shooting and killing a family member in Tooele. Police Corporal Colby Bentley says this happened on Friday night. It was at a home on Mill Creek Way, not far from West Elementary.
I know many officers who have been here for their entire career have never seen a situation like this involving, a homicide and potentially someone being so young being involved in it. So it's new for all of us, but it's something that we're looking into right now, and we're trying to determine what led up to this point.
It's unclear if the child has been charged. Police say there was at least one other person in the home at the time. Their investigation of the death of a 32-year-old, presumably at the hand of a 9-year-old, remains ongoing. New York's Trump Tower could be seized if the Trump Organization doesn't pay a big fine. Maria Chaleos is live at the KSL National News Desk.
Jeff, New York Attorney General Letitia James today told ABC News that she's prepared to seize Donald Trump's assets if he doesn't come up with last week's $355 million fine. She says there are consequences to decades of fraud.
If average New Yorkers went into a bank and submitted false documents, the government would throw the book at them. And the same should be true of former presidents.
The former president has said he will appeal the fine. Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley is planning a rally in Utah next week. At an event today in South Carolina, she said she doesn't plan to drop out of the race, even if she doesn't win in her home state this week.
I refuse to quit. South Carolina will vote on Saturday. But on Sunday, I'll still be running for president. I'm not going anywhere.
Haley is planning a rally at UVU on the morning of February 28th. The U.S. is vetoing a UN resolution that calls for the immediate ceasefire in Gaza. U.S. Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield says the resolution could negatively affect critical hostage negotiations.
While numerous parties engage in sensitive negotiations, this is not the time for this resolution, which jeopardizes these efforts.
Prime Minister Netanyahu is vowing to press on in the war despite pressure from the UN. Live from the KSL National News Desk, I'm Maria Chaleos, KSL News Radio.
Canines that are seriously injured in the line of duty could be flown to the vet via life flight for treatment. Intermountain is hoping this new program could save the lives of police dogs like Canine Maya, who was killed 2 years ago in West Jordan.
Canine Maya did what she was trained to do. She was actively attempting to apprehend that fugitive when she was shot and killed. It obviously left a huge hole in our hearts. Not only was Canine Maya part of our police department, she was part of our family, part of the community. That's Sergeant Kendall Holt with the West Jordan Department. He says their canine handlers and officers are also learning more tactical medical training for canines to make sure that the dogs get the best care if they're injured. Police could be getting more access to security footage.
There's almost no legislation about how police can use live security footage. This bill creates guidelines. Police would be able to access live footage in airports, correctional facilities, law enforcement buildings, schools, courthouses, and critical infrastructure buildings like utilities. Director of Utah Government Affairs at the Libertas Institute, Jason Chipman, says it gives law enforcement something they've really been wanting.
Which essentially is to identify people in real time. Not just go back and see who was there.
The bill is advancing through the Senate and will be sent to the House. Alexandria Bonilla, KSL News Radio.
UTA wants to make sure nobody has to wait because of delays in public transit. Executive Director Jay Fox says they're working to improve one of the biggest slowdowns on the Blue Line. The boarding system is on an elevated platform, which can cause slowdowns.
And the cool
thing that we're going to do is we're going to be replacing all of our Blue Line vehicles. Those are our oldest vehicles, and that will give us a fully level boarding system.
Fox says the Blue Line currently requires the driver to assist people into the train, but the other lines have level boarding at ground level, which speeds up the process. It's 4:36. Speaking of speeding up the process, Ricky, what's happening on the roads?
Well, the rain has definitely slowed down the drive, but I-15 in Utah, Davis, and Weber counties looking good. It's just Salt Lake County where we have both north and southbound slowdowns, and it's likely due to Mother Nature. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Did you see the AI video over the weekend? Absolutely amazing. Stay right here. My minute's on the way.
Deb, you remember me telling you about my 1970s home? There are no lights in the family room. It doesn't make any sense. It was like, just throw lamps everywhere. It's going to be a lampapalooza. That's why I need a little help.
You need Master Electrical. And the best part about Master Electrical, in my view, is they have upfront pricing. So when they show up to your house to give you the bid, that upfront pricing guarantee is going to stick. That's the price you're going to pay when the job's done.
If it goes a little longer, if it's a little more complicated, they're going to honor that bid. How often does that happen?
I love it. Master Electrical, proudly serving from Logan to Santa Quinn, all with that upfront pricing guarantee.
All you have to do is give them a call, 801-543-2222.
And remember, they are always open, including for emergency services. So again, check them out online at masterelectrical.com or give them a call at 801-543-2222.
For John's 60th birthday, his family planned to drive down Old Route 66. But the trip took a detour when his wife got sick with RSV. It's a highly contagious virus that can lead to breathing problems and hospitalizations.
This year, we don't want to cancel our plans. We're protecting ourselves with Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo, respiratory syncytial virus vaccine.
Abrysvo, a vaccine to prevent lower respiratory disease from RSV in people 60 years and older. It's not for everyone and may not protect all who receive it. Don't get Abrysvo if you've had an allergic reaction to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may decrease your response. Most common side effects are tiredness, headache, injection site pain, and muscle pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-844-989-7284 or visit abrysvo.com.
So don't wait. Ask your pharmacist or doctor about Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo, because every breath matters.
Join Mike Stevens of Capital Wealth Advisors for Retire Right Radio, Saturdays at 5 a.m. and 9 p.m. That's Retire Right Radio with Mike Stevens, Saturdays at 5 a.m. and 9 p.m.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. We seem to be in a love-hate relationship with Hollywood. A lot of Utahns sneer at the self-importance of the stars and despise Hollywood's left-leaning morality. But when Tinseltown cranks out an Avengers or a Star Wars movie, we stuff the theaters full of Utahns. Biggest ticket sales in America, so it's a love-hate relationship. And if you lean toward the hate, there's good news from OpenAI. The artificial intelligence company that created ChatGPT has invented AI that can make videos. You just type a one-paragraph description of what the video should look like, and this AI called Sora creates a realistic video. No cameras, no actors, no assistant directors, just you sitting at the computer typing that you want 2 pirate ships going into battle inside a cup of coffee. And boom, realistic video. Go ahead and Google it. You'll see that video. So in the future, you can have ChatGPT write the script, Sora creates the video, and suddenly Tinseltown is replaced by you and a decent laptop. It might be a ways off, but actors, makeup artists, writers, even the guy who snaps that slate could be replaced by computers. Hollywood becomes Hollywoodened. But also, Sora could be able to create convincing deepfakes of your favorite candidate, or even you doing the most unsavory and illegal things. Sure, it could kill Hollywood, but this technology could also destroy your reputation. So Hollywood haters, best be careful what you wish for.
Say goodbye to Hollywood. Say goodbye, my baby.
Jeff Caplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents per gallon. So, Ricky, what's going on?
A wet drive home this afternoon. Southbound traffic I-15 a little bogged down between downtown and 33rd South, but most of it stretches from just before 53rd to 90th South, and then northbound I-15. The rain really slowed down the drive. It is heavy from 45th South to the 6th South exit. Also, some spots of busy traffic building now westbound on the 201 between I-15 and the West Belt. Mark?
Getting an awful lot of traffic right now. It's tightening on the west side, 5600 West and Mountain View. Very heavy from SR 201 down to 3500 South into West Valley. Bangerter's not that bad. Worst of the delays southbound coming down from California Avenue. Redwood Road, though, starting to get some delays southbound briefly to Camp Williams, and then southbound I-15 is sluggish in Utah County, right about Pleasant Grove Boulevard. Michelle.
Well, Foothill Drive was also affected by the rain coming down. This is going from Sunnyside Avenue down to I-80 for drivers making their way northbound I-15 out of downtown. That's holding up pretty nicely. There's a little bit of wet roads on I-15 in the North Salt Lake area, but once you get past that, you're again seeing good speeds all the way to Ogden and beyond. Looking at some slowdowns, though, this is Highway 89 around Harrison Boulevard. Attention pet parents, tired of being a doorman for your furry friends? Say hello to Pet Door Products, your ticket to convenience and freedom. Their pet doors are energy efficient, weatherproof, and secure. Visit petdoorproducts.com or call 801-973-8000. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
Our storm has really delivered in the mountains, where we've seen anywhere from 8 to 12 inches of snow. In the valleys, heavy rain last night. Bit of a lull today, but more is coming tonight into the day on Wednesday. Look for developing valley rain and mountain snow. 38 for the low, high of only 46. Storm will linger through Wednesday night and then taper off. Partly cloudy and 46 for the high on Thursday. Back to 50s and some sunshine to finish the week and start the weekend. From the KSO Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
And right now in Salt Lake City, temperature readings 48 degrees. So as you've been hearing, a 9-year-old was taken into custody in Tooele over the shooting death of a 32-year-old family member. We're going to go in depth coming up on KSL. This is Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
I'm what you might call very good at hide and seek. This one time, my parents had to round up the whole neighborhood to track me down. It was a mess. A lot of tears. Well, now that we got Xfinity, we have Wi-Fi all over the house, including all my favorite super secret hiding spots. So I can kill time in here by streaming my shows and...
Ha! Found ya.
The heck? How?
You left Find My tablet on.
This generation, ruining the game with their performance enhancers.
Get wall-to-wall Wi-Fi on the Xfinity 10G network for a reliable connection throughout your home. Now through March 21st, new customers can get started with 1.2 gigabit internet for $25 a month for 2 years with no annual contract. And Wi-Fi equipment included when you add unlimited mobile. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless plan and auto-pay stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary.
Finally, good news. Mortgage rates have come down and are getting better. This is Jason with American Home Loans. We have a new program at 5.75% fixed for 30 years. Yes, 5.75% fixed rate. After you do your loan with us, if rates go down by 0.5% or more, we will refinance you at no cost to you. We can refinance you every 6 months at no cost as rates continue to come down. If you're in the market to purchase, get your rate locked in at 5.75%. If you need to streamline your current FHA loan, do it at 5.75% fixed rate. Give us a call at 801-262-2221. That's 801-262-2221, or go to AmericanHomeLoans.com. 5.75% is a great rate to buy or refinance. Remember also that doing a loan with us allows you to refinance at no cost every time the rates go down by 0.5% or more. We have over 30 years of experience. American Home Loans, 801-262-2221, or go to AmericanHomeLoans.com.
5.98% APR. NMLS 245422. Equal housing lender.
I'm Matthew. I'm a senior at Mount Heights Academy. It's an online school that doesn't require me to work in the hours I'm least productive. In the morning, I'm super tired. I just don't feel like I'm on my game. Mount Heights Academy works better for my schedule because I'm more of a night person, so the majority of my school is done at night. Having that control makes me feel more confident about myself overall. It's really empowering to me.
Mountain Heights Academy is an online public school for grades 7 through 12. Visit our website to learn how it can work for you.
KSL News Time 4:45. The three things you need to know this hour first.
Reducing delays on the track's commuter trains is a priority for UTA. They have plans to replace all the old trains on the Blue Line and build a completely new line, which will have its own stations. I'm KSL News Radio's Heather Kelly.
Second, we just learned that a 12-year-old seriously burned in a campfire incident yesterday has passed away. The child was rushed to Primary Children's Hospital yesterday afternoon. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
Delays for southbounders Redwood Road from Porter Rockwell Boulevard down to 2100 North in Lehigh, and delays northbound I-15 from Murray to downtown. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Our storm continues with more valley rain and mountain snow. I'm Kevin Eubank.
49 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios now. Our top national stories.
ABC News, I'm Daria Albinger. New York Attorney General Letitia James says Donald Trump will pay even if he can't come up with $355 million in cash.
We are prepared to make sure that the judgment is paid to New Yorkers. And yes, I look at 40 Wall Street each and every day.
James says she'll seize the former president's assets if he can't come up with the money for the fines that a judge ordered him to pay as punishment for a decade of fraud. Former South Carolina governor and UN ambassador Nikki Haley says she'll stay in the race for the Republican presidential nomination no matter what happens in her home state primary Saturday. The search for Audrey Cunningham is over. The 11-year-old's body was found in a river in Polk County, Texas. A man who lived in a trailer behind her home will likely be charged in her death.
The information that we have gathered in this criminal investigation is substantial.
Sheriff Byron Lyons. Stocks closed lower today. This is ABC News.
And now the KSL in-depth. As we've been reporting, a 9-year-old has been arrested in Tooele. Police are telling us the child shot and killed an adult family member, 32 years old. But that's really about all we know and can report to you. Joining me live, former Unified Police Chief Chris Bertram. Chris, thanks for joining us. A few questions about the way this is being handled. First, is it normal for police to keep information this close when a minor is the one under investigation?
It is common. This is one. It's a tragic tragic incident out in Tooele, and obviously it's going to affect their community. And so, with that known, and the fact that the subject in here is a juvenile, a very young juvenile, I think that's a reason that you're probably not going to get a lot of information out of the police department. As it moves into the court system, I think it'll even become less information.
Well, we understand the sensitivity, but we have to wonder. We don't even know who the victim is. Is that common in a case like this?
I would say it's common in the fact that we didn't know about this until today. And I think now that the information is out, we will probably get more information specifically with the victim, who the victim is, and more information with regards to the victim, and maybe some minor information as to what happened in the circumstance.
The police chief had said, we're not accustomed to a case like this where the child is, well, I'm going to use the word perpetrator, and we're stepping very, very carefully. Is this particularly jarring to police officers working on a case like this?
Yes, absolutely. This is a unique situation where the subject in the case is so young. We have, within the criminal justice system, we look at about the age of 7 or 8 as being an age of infancy, meaning that they can't, in some states, can't be charged with crimes because their intent is not formed yet. With the fact that he's 9, that can be, the case that they can show intent and proceed, forward in the juvenile justice system. But again, it becomes one of those very unique situations. And yes, for law enforcement, you don't see that.
On the other hand, information is not being made available for very understandable reasons, but it provides the opportunity for people on Facebook to run rampant with rumors and stories about what transpired, and that could be just as harmful to the family.
Absolutely detrimental. And that is one thing I think the chief will probably in the next few days, hopefully, will take the opportunity to put information out there. One of the things that we learned, especially in media relations and law enforcement, if you're not going to make a statement or everybody else will. And I think that, especially now with social media, it's responsible for the law enforcement agency, the county attorney in this case also, maybe to make a statement to at least make sure that good information is getting out there but having the understanding that the investigation is still going and that it's going to involve the juvenile justice system, which will limit some of the information greatly.
Well, we appreciate your perspective, and we're keeping it to what's been reported by police and don't want to go out on a limb and be like everybody's behaving on Facebook. Unified Police Chief Chris Bertram, we appreciate you coming on. It's 4:50. Now, traffic and weather together brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents per gallon. Here's Ricky Meese.
Well, the weather that came through and just soaked the drive has definitely played a part in these slowdowns that we're seeing, especially on the northbound side of I-15. It's unusual to see these kind of slow speeds from Murray at 4500 south all the way to 6 south downtown. Southbound I-15, a little busy and slow from North Temple to 2100 south. Then our usual delays, Murray to almost 90th South Sandy. Now we're starting to see traffic filling in and slowing down on the 201 westbound Redwood over to Bangerter and again passing 5600 west. Mark?
It's awfully heavy as well out west on Mountain View and 5600 west, basically between SR 201 and 3500 south. Now it has really been bogged down on Bangerter as well, basically between California Avenue and Kearns, but not completely solid. Redwood Road's getting hit, Bluffdale down past Porter Rockwell into Camp Williams. 15 in Utah County is really just sluggish, southbound briefly at Pleasant Grove Boulevard. Michelle.
Well, we're still looking at delays if you're trying to make your way on Foothill Drive. This is again going between Mario Capecchi Drive, head down toward I-80. For drivers making their way northbound I-15, seeing some slowing. This is just right about 2300 north. Once you break free of that, you're looking good all the way to Ogden. If you're on Antelope Drive, that is also slow just west of I-15. Cypress checking account members enjoy discounted rates on auto and RV loans. Free access to their credit scores and reports and a suite of other products and perks. Learn more at cypresscu.com. Cypress Credit Union. Your future is our future. Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast starts off fairly active. Valley rain, mountain snow continues across Utah. It will last overnight and into the day on Wednesday. Highs in the 40s. Storm will be gone by Thursday morning, partly cloudy and 46 for the afternoon high. Sunshine returns for our Friday and Saturday. Highs in the low 50s with lows in the 30s. And then we'll see another storm system developing for next Monday into Tuesday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. It certainly seems dark enough for sunset, but it's not till 6:07 tonight. Behind all those clouds, coming up, Walmart is getting into the TV business. Yeah, stay right here.
Jeff Caplan's Afternoon News, only on KSL News Radio.
Sundown, you better take care if I find you've been creeping round my back stairs. She's been looking like a queen in a sailor's dream, and she don't always say what she really means.
So the guys from Advanced Windows, Nate Orchard and Jake Weber, come into my studio, and Nate's late, and he runs in, and he's all out of breath, which is kind of weird because he played for the Utes and did 7 years in the NFL, and he's built solid, but he huffs, "Jeff, we're booked like 8 weeks out. Once spring comes, it's going to get crazy." What he meant was, this is the time you should get a quote for new windows. You'll get the highest quality custom frames and double pane glass that'll seal in the heat and lower your energy bill. You pick the style and color and give your home an amazing new look for spring. And right now, Advanced Window Products will give you $2,500 off on 10 windows or more. They build the windows right here in Salt Lake City, so you're buying local. They offer 0% financing, even buy now, pay later. So don't wait. Get $2,500 off and get your new windows this spring. Advanced Window Products, 801-850-9100. That's 801-850-9100. Or visit advancedwindowsusa.com.
Are you ready to just take charge of your physical health and well-being? Now's the perfect time to do it, and the best way to do it is with SOTA Weight Loss. SOTA stands for State-of-the-Art Weight Loss. State-of-the-art Weight Loss. Because it is. It's state-of-the-art. It'll help you deal with all of the challenges that normally go unaddressed when it deals with weight loss. You're going to have your own coach and nutritionist that are going to help you tackle the mental, emotional habits, the behaviors associated that will allow you to let that excess weight go. The pounds and inches fall off. It's amazing. It's amazing. I lost 37 pounds in just 90 days, and now it's been almost 2 full years.
I am still 37 pounds down.
I've never felt better, all through Soda Weight Loss, and I'm not the only one. There's thousands of people across the country with similar results. It puts you in charge and you in control of what your body needs, how you get it, and how you can really thrive. Do it with Soda Weight Loss, as I always say, when it comes to your Soda Weight Loss journey. There's no time to lose, only time to win, so start winning today. Check it out at sodaweightloss.com, SOTAweightloss.com.
You know that feeling? The weather starts getting colder, so you go down to check out the furnace and you look around and think, what am I even looking at? Because you don't know how these things work with all the lights and wires and pipey things. And then you think, I bet those technicians at Whipple went to school for this. Shouldn't they be here looking at my furnace? Whipple that away. Knowing what to look for on your furnace tune-up is my job. Make your problem my problem. Whipple Service Champions. Take advantage of our $27 furnace tune-up at whipplethataway.com.
We're watching Utah's Money at KSL, brought to you by Utah First Credit Union. Walmart is buying Vizio, a company that makes TVs. They're spending $2.3 billion to acquire Vizio. The strategy, this would allow Walmart to sell ads that appear on TV streaming services. On Wall Street today, down day, the Dow down 64, the S&P down 30, the NASDAQ down 144 points.
Hi, friends. Dan, the laptop man here from PC Laptops. I get a lot of emails with feedback from customers. Here's one. Dear Dan, I just had the best experience ever. I bought a computer from Shane at your State Street store. I asked several what I thought were really stupid questions. Shane was super courteous and made me feel comfortable through the whole process. People need to understand how important it is to support a local company, especially when your experience is so good. PC Laptops really does love me. Signed, Satisfied. I love hearing feedback like that. It really just gives me the chills. It's the whole reason why I got into the computer business in the first place. You can get a brand new PC Laptops desktop, and they start at only $29 a month. And it comes with a lifetime warranty. That means if anything goes wrong, we're going to take care of you. Just check us out at PCLaptops.com. That's PCLaptops.com. At PC Laptops, we really do love you.
Are you stressing about your IRS tax problems? Have you received notices from the IRS threatening to garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, or seize your property? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has tax attorneys and enrolled agents that are ready to fight for you. They have saved millions for taxpayers just like you. Allies Tax Relief can help put a stop to IRS collections and, most importantly, negotiate your tax debt. Here's Brenda, a happy client of Allies Tax Relief.
I owed the IRS around $57,000, and they're about to start garnishing my paychecks. I heard a commercial on the radio about Allies Tax Relief, so I thought I'd give them a call. After a day, they were able to at least stop the garnishments, and after a few months of negotiations, I walked away owing the IRS only $301.
If you owe the IRS, call Allies Tax Relief right now for your free consultation. Call 800-647-0499. 800-647-0499. That's 800-647-0499.
Visit the contest page on KSLNewsRadio.com. This week, win tickets to see the Utah Symphony perform Gershwin. Charismatic jazz trumpeter Byron Stripling takes the stage with Grammy-nominated singer Carmen Gradford, March 1st at Abravanel Hall. Or win tickets to the Crossroads of the West Gun Show, March 2nd and 3rd at the Weber County Fairgrounds in Ogden. Text the word contest to 57500 or go to KSLNewsRadio.com/contests.
Traffic and weather together, brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Ricky, what's up?
We still have lingering slowdowns. Southbound I-15 is bogged down from just before 33rd South to 6 South downtown. Southbound I-15, the majority of your delays will stretch from Murray at 45th South almost to 90th South. And bogged down again, this is the 201 westbound from about 9th West almost to Bangerter. Mark?
It's been very heavy through West Valley on all the big three, 5600 West, Bangerter, and Mountain View. Mountain View hangs up again through Daybreak, Bangerter down around Shields Lane. Redwood Road is now starting to thicken between Bluffdale and Camp Williams. Michelle.
Northbound I-15 just a little slow around 2300 North. Then you're seeing good speeds all the way up to Brigham City. After that, still have some lingering delays on Antelope Drive just west of I-15. Experience classical music hits through a new lens. Utah Symphony's Masterworks Magnified performances feature themed and fun-filled concert events. Learn more at utahsymphony.org. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
More rain tonight. In fact, rain showers tomorrow. It all ends tomorrow night.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
This is the 5 o'clock report, 20 minutes of uninterrupted news, commercial free. I'm Jeff Caplan, KSL's top story. A 9-year-old has been arrested in Tooele. Police say the child shot and killed an adult family member. KSL News Radio's Amy Kobabe is in the neighborhood where it happened. She's joining us live from Tooele. Amy.
Jeff, a few neighbors here all saying the same thing. They are shocked. Police say the 9-year-old was arrested after they started their investigation. They haven't released any names, but they say a 32-year-old male was reported unconscious and bleeding Friday night. He had an apparent gunshot wound to the head and died later the next day. As for what led up to this, still a lot of unanswered questions. Reporting live in Tooele, Amy Kobabe, KSL News Radio.
Former Unified Police Chief Chris Bertram told us moments ago that due to the sensitivity of this case, it's normal for police to take their time releasing any information.
And I think now that the information is out, we will probably get more information specifically with the victim, who the victim is, and more information with regards to the victim, and maybe some minor information as to what happened in the circumstance.
Bertram says he expects the police to make a statement in the next few days to limit some of the rumors running rampant on social media. Murder charges have been filed in the mass shooting at the Chiefs' Victory Parade. Maria Chaleos is live at the KSL National News Desk.
Jeff, 2 adult men are charged with murder and weapons charges related to that shooting. Prosecutor Gene Peters Baker says Lyndell Mays pulled out his gun first.
That argument very quickly escalated to Mays drawing his firearm, a handgun.
But she says it was Dominic Miller's bullets that killed radio DJ Lisa Lopez Galvin. A historic ruling from the Alabama Supreme Court could impact the future of in vitro fertilization. The court ruling frozen embryos qualify as people under its state law. For doctors like Mamie McLean, it's created a lot of uncertainty.
And it leaves those of us who are sitting face to face with patients just with the inability to comment on what is safe and what is legal for them.
The ruling indicates anyone who destroys embryos could face a possible wrongful death lawsuit. Ramped up efforts to combat what Vice President Kamala Harris calls a public health crisis. The VP announcing nearly $6 billion in additional funding to replace lead pipes nationwide.
Lead is a poison. It stunts growth. It causes damage to the brain. It affects a child's ability to learn.
The funding comes from the bipartisan infrastructure law. It brings the total amount of announced clean water funding to $22 billion. Live from the KSL National News Desk, I'm Maria Chaleos, KSL News Radio.
Some Republican lawmakers have sent a letter to President Biden to shut down his TikTok account. 18 senators say they're concerned about the national security risk. They point out the federal government warns everyday Americans about the risks of using the app. And the president, of all people, they say, should heed the warning. The White House has yet to respond to the letter. A Republican presidential hopeful is coming to Utah next week.
KSL.com reports Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley will hold a rally at UVU's campus on February 28th. Haley is campaigning before Super Tuesday during a week of events in states like Colorado, Virginia, and Minnesota. Today, she reiterated that she will stay in the race despite trailing behind former President Trump in polls. Jessica Lowell, KSL News Radio.
Brad Wilson is officially on the primary ballot so far. He's the only Republican on the ballot for Mitt Romney's Senate seat. He submitted the required signatures, 28,000 of them. Primary day is June 25th. Senator Mike Lee, meantime, doesn't like the Count My Vote initiative. 10 years ago, the bill opened a pathway in Utah to get candidates on the ballot by collecting signatures. To celebrate the anniversary, Senator Lee expressed his opposition online. KSL political consultant Taylor Morgan says this isn't the first time that Lee has called out this process, and it won't be the last.
And I think just given the timing of the 10-year anniversary combined with the upcoming now less relevant party presidential preference vote on March 5th, Mike Lee just had some free time this weekend and decided to put us on blast.
Senator Lee qualified for the ballot in 2022 by gathering signatures. To be 17 again with more hair, more energy, and you don't have to pay taxes? A bill moving on to the full Utah House would eliminate the state income tax for working Utahns age 17 or younger. Representative Kira Birkeland points out these kids don't get to vote, so it's taxation without representation. First look traffic on the 5 o'clock report. Here's Ricky Meese.
We do have a new accident. This is westbound on the 201 at 7200 West in Magna. The vehicles are over to the right shoulder, but it is causing a little bit of backup, and part of that delay that we see back to 5600 West. I-15 in Utah County, it's been a little bogged down southbound going between Pleasant Grove and Linden. Redwood Road also a slow drive tonight southbound from Bluffdale to Lehigh. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL News Time 5:06. It's not often business leaders say, hey, government, you should spend $100 million. But Salt Lake business leaders are calling on the legislature to spend that much and more fighting homelessness. Exactly as Governor Cox requested.
The Salt Lake Chamber hosted the meeting alongside leadership from local businesses. Derek Miller with the Chamber recognized what they believe has made a difference this season.
This improvement is thanks in part to the 600 temporary winter shelter beds and increased enforcement of no camping laws.
Homeless coordinator Wayne Niederhauser reminded the room that plan is only temporary through April, unless that budget, which includes more hours for law enforcement, behavioral health services, and a permanent facility, is approved.
What we need is a facility that we can run year-round, that people can stay in it until they get back on their feet.
Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
We learned this afternoon that the 12-year-old seriously burned in a campfire incident yesterday has passed away. Police responded to the incident in West Point late in the afternoon yesterday. The boy had to be flown to Primary Children's Hospital with third-degree burns. His mother was taken to a hospital in Ogden with similar injuries. There hasn't been any update on the condition of the mom. There's a measles outbreak, not here, but in 11 other states. If you're not immunized, conceivably, you could get it from an out-of-state visitor. So what to watch for? This is State Immunization Director Rich Lakin.
Individuals have a high fever, they'll have a cough, runny nose, and have like watery eyes. And these, can last for 3 to 5 days when the rash appears.
Yes, that rash. It's likely you won't see it. Utah has a solid 96.4% vaccination rate, good enough to protect us from a serious outbreak. The closest states with measles cases, Arizona and California. The Provo Temple of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is getting a new look and a new name. The temple will close this week for reconstruction. When it reopens, it's going to be called the Provo, Utah Rock Canyon Temple. KSL News Time, 5:08. This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. When you think about how old Joe Biden is, it's hard to imagine his great-great-grandfather. You want to guess what year his papa's pappy was born? Because we learned something very, very interesting about Joe Biden's great-great-grandfather the other day. Moses Robinette was born way back in 1819. When he was in his 40s, he served in the Union Army in the Civil War.
Oh, we'll rally around the flag, boys, we'll rally once again, shouting the battle cry of freedom.
While Moses Robinette wore the uniform, he did not distinguish himself wearing it. Seems Joe Biden's ancestor got into a brawl, pulled a penknife, and stabbed a fellow Union soldier. We know this because the Washington Post has just unearthed the transcript from his court-martial, at which Robinette was found guilty of attempted murder. But the military judges had mercy. Recognizing that he was brawling with a much bigger man, they sentenced him to 2 years hard labor. But that's not the end of our story, because Moses Robinette's friends petitioned the president for a pardon, and it was granted by Abraham Lincoln. Robinette went free, leaving behind a previously unknown connection, undiscovered for 160 years, between Lincoln and Joseph Robinette Biden, great-great-grandson of a brawler.
Old man, look at my life, I'm a lot like you were.
So, does the fruit fall far from the tree? You decide.
Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Your traffic and weather together brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Here's Ricky Meese.
A crash in Magna westbound on the 201, 7200 west, but it is out of traffic over to the shoulder. We still have the usual slowing back to 5600 west. Now starting to see traffic a little busy and slow southbound on I-215's west belt from the 201 junction to just past 3500 south. Delays linger southbound I-15 from Murray at 45th south off and on through Sandy, and northbound I-15 also remains a little bogged down as you go from South Salt Lake to downtown. Mark?
Bit of a drag on the drive, SR 36 Lake Point to Stansbury Park this afternoon. Also, it's been pretty rough Mountain View, SR 201 to 3500 south. Bangerter's improved through West Valley. Southbound slowing at 9800 south, and Redwood Road is even worse now. Bluffdale down to Camp Williams. I-15 on the southbound side in Utah County slows at Pleasant Grove Boulevard. Michelle?
Well, northbound I-15 a little sluggish between Rose Park headed into North Salt Lake. Once you get past those delays at the I-15, I-215 interchange, you're seeing good speeds again all the way through to Davis and Weber counties. If you're on Antelope Drive, still have just a little bit of slowing just west of I-15, but that is looking better than it was. And heads up for drivers on Foothill Drive. Southbound still slow from Maricopa headed down toward I-80. Michelle Rowan, the KSL Traffic Center.
As we head through the 5 o'clock hour, scattered rain showers along the Wasatch Front with temperatures in the upper 40s will slide into the mid 40s as we head through 6 o'clock, low 40s by 7, upper 30s by 8, and will just stay there all the way through the night with scattered rain. With your hourly forecast on the 5 o'clock report, I'm Kevin Eubank.
48 degrees in Salt Lake City. Sunset is at 6:07, but come on, you're not going to see it. KSL News, right? It's just so cloudy out there. KSL News Time, 5:11, and NASA has put out a help wanted for Martians. Maria, what's this all about?
NASA is looking for people to participate in a simulated one-year Mars mission to help the agency prepare for a trip to the Red Planet. Now, the mission involves a 4-person volunteer crew living and working inside a 1,700 square foot 3D printed habitat based at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston. The habitat is called the Mars Dune Alpha. It simulates the challenges of the mission on Mars and includes resource limitations, equipment failures, communication delays, other environmental stressors. Now, the crew's tasks include simulated spacewalks, robotic operations, habitat maintenance, exercise, and crop growth. Now, if you want to apply, this is what you need to have. You have to be healthy, a motivated U.S. citizen, non-smoker, 30 to 55 years old, proficient in English, and a strong desire for a unique, rewarding adventure and interest in contributing to NASA's work to prepare for the first human journey to Mars.
You said 1,700 square feet. Is that right? That's about 40 by 45 feet for a year.
Right.
No thanks, KSL.
Deadline to apply April 2nd.
Okay.
In case you change your mind.
Not a problem. KSL News Time, 5:13. We're now hearing the 911 calls from 5 bicyclists who were stalked and attacked by a mountain lion over the weekend in Washington State.
He got attacked in the face.
When a group of bicyclists called 911 from a remote trail near Falls City, Washington, they told the call taker they needed help quickly. They requested a helicopter for their friend who had been attacked, and they had the mountain lion pinned down under a bike.
We need somebody with a gun to kill the cougar. We're holding the cougar down with a bike right now.
Eventually, police arrived and shot and killed the big cat. The woman who was attacked is recovering. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Passengers aboard an American Airlines flight out of Albuquerque this afternoon had a few scary minutes. One passenger on board said a man tried to open a door in flight, and the fellow passengers jumped into action, wrestled him down, duct taped his legs, and put flex cuffs on him. American Airlines say there was a disturbance, and the plane turned around, landed back in Albuquerque. The FBI is now investigating. Trending on social media, Beyoncé is once again making history. The superstar's newest single, Texas Hold'em, debuted at the top of Billboard's Hot Country Songs. It's her first ever #1 on the country charts, making her the only other solo woman to have a hit country song after Taylor Swift. The 3 things you need to know this hour. First,
police in Tooele have arrested a 9-year-old child for allegedly shooting and killing an adult relative. I'm KSL News Radio's Adam Small.
Second, Brad Wilson is officially the only Republican on the ballot for Mitt Romney's Senate seat. So far, Wilson announced today he's collected enough signatures. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
We do have one crash. It's westbound on the 21st South Freeway at 7200 West in Magna, but it's out of traffic on the right shoulder. But we also have delays, and that's southbound I-15 scattered from Murray into Draper and into the Point of the Mountain. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
A little lull in the precipitation, but more rain and snow coming. I'm Kevin Eubank.
It's 48 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios now. Our top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Daria Albinger. The search for Audrey Cunningham is over. The 11-year-old's body was found in the Trinity River in Polk County, Texas. Sheriff Byron Lyons thanked the Trinity River Authority for lowering the water level, which helped authorities find her body.
They slowed down the outflow from the reservoir, and it allowed the water to go down, and her body was discovered there in the water.
Don McDougal, a friend of Audrey's father, will likely be charged with capital murder in her death.
At this time, we believe the appropriate arrest warrant is going to be for capital murder in the death of Audrey Cunningham.
Polk County DA Shelley Bush-Sitton. 2 adults are charged with murder in last week's deadly shooting after the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl victory parade. 2 new highway shootings in the Seattle area, but ABC's Alex Stone says these were different.
Police are now investigating the 10th and 11th highway shootings around Seattle this year. The circumstances and suspect vehicles are always different. Until now, nobody has been hurt. But on Friday and Monday nights in the latest shootings, victims were hurt. On Friday night, a man was hit in the neck, and Monday night, a 34-year-old was critically injured. Police say none of the cases appear to be connected. The suspects are unknown. Alex Stone, ABC News.
New York Attorney General Letitia James says she's prepared to seize Donald Trump's assets if the former president can't or won't come up with $355 million that a judge ordered him to pay as punishment for a decade of fraud.
If average New Yorkers went into a bank and submitted false documents, the government would throw the book at them. And the same should be true of former presidents.
James says she could seize Mr. Trump's namesake buildings if need be. Stocks closed lower today. You're listening to ABC News.
And now the in-depth on KSL. YouTuber Ruby Franke and her business partner Jody Hildebrand were both sentenced to prison today, on the conviction for aggravated child abuse. The two were arrested last year after Franke's son escaped to a neighbor's house in Ivins for help, duct tape marks on his body. KSL legal analyst Greg Skordas joined Utah's Noon News with Maria Chaleos earlier. Maria asked him his thoughts about the two receiving the same sentence.
It's surprising to me that they both received the exact same plea bargain, because I thought that the state was probably going to push the case against Hildebrand harder than they would against Franke. However, once Franke pled guilty to 4 second-degree felonies, there wasn't much else to do. I mean, Hildebrand was only charged with 6, and they probably weren't going to get her to plead to all 6 of them. So they got them to both plead to 4 out of the 6, and then the judge ran them consecutively. So I think the Board of Pardons, I'm kind of dancing around your question a little bit, I think the Board of Pardons will probably treat Hildebrand a little more harshly and keep her a little bit longer, because she was more the mastermind behind all of this.
Right. They were quite different in court today. Franke seemed very remorseful during the sentencing. Do you think that is going to impact what the parole board does?
Absolutely. I think that a person's got to fall on their sword. They've got to accept responsibility. They've got to repent, and that will help them with the board. I thought it may have helped her a little bit with the judge, but it didn't. I mean, he still gave the maximum sentence. But yeah, once these two women get out to the prison, the only thing they can do to shorten their time is to accept responsibility, acknowledge the wrongfulness of their conduct, take advantage of any classes or counseling or therapy that they can do, and make the most of their prison time.
Greg Skordas there. He says he wouldn't be surprised if they both, Hildebrand and Franke, receive less than 4 years of actual prison time. KSL News Time, 5:19 now. Let's get your home traffic and weather together. We're brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Here's Ricky Mees.
A slow ride northbound I-15 in Salt Lake County from just after 4500 south to the 6 South exit, southbound I-15. Scattered delays from 4500 South Murray all the way to the point of the mountain. Westbound on the 201, bogged down from I-15 to the westbelt and 5600 west into Magna, where we have a crash at 7200 west on the right. Mark?
Minute or two extra KSL travel times for you into Willa this afternoon. Lake Point to Stansbury Park on SR 36. That's about the worst of it. Mountain View still very heavy heading into West Valley 3500 South. Bangor now shifting to the delays southbound at 9800 South. Redwood Road still a bit of a trip. Bluffdale down to Camp Williams, and then southbound I-15 tightens with the delays about Pleasant Grove Boulevard. Michelle.
Well, northbound I-15 filling in a little more. This is as you're going from Rose Park up toward North Salt Lake at the I-15, I-215 interchange. Again, once you get past that, we're seeing good speeds. We do have some delays, though. This is over in the Clinton and Clearfield area. This is on 2000 West, and then a heads up for drivers if you're trying to use Foothill Drive. That is still slow from about Sunnyside Avenue headed toward I-80. Cypress checking account members enjoy discounted rates on auto and RV loans, free access to their credit scores and reports, and a suite of other products and perks. Learn more at cypresscu.com. Cypress Credit Union, your future is our future. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
The KSL 7-day forecast starts off with more valley rain and mountain snow on Wednesday, but then we dry off for the end of the week. Lows will be in the 30s with highs in the 40s. Partly cloudy skies move in for Thursday, mostly sunny conditions Friday and Saturday as temperatures climb back above normal into the low to mid 50s. Another round of storminess comes in next Monday into Tuesday. That will be valley rain, changing over to snow. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. 48 degrees in Salt Lake City. We'll check the market close next.
Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News, only on KSL News Radio.
Straight up now, tell me, do you really want to love me forever? Oh, oh, oh. Or am I caught in a hit and run? Straight up now, tell me, is it gonna be you and me together? Oh, oh, oh. Or are you just having fun?
This is Derek Miller speaking on business. According to Verizon's 2023 Data Breach Investigations Report, 74% of all security breaches include a human element. That's why Wasatch Security Awareness was created, to provide cybersecurity training to businesses and their employees. Founder Matt Groves joins us with more.
Your company's employees are the biggest target and best defense against a cyber attack. At Wasatch Security Awareness, we educate your end users to become smarter than the digital threats they will inevitably face. When we work with your business, we use a simple training process to ensure each organization gets the personalized education they need. First, we collaborate with management to create a human intelligence training plan. We then test employees with a customized spear phishing email that mimics techniques used by cyber criminals. Based on the test results, Wasatch Security Awareness provides customized training to help businesses become more secure. On average, 24% of employees click a link inside their first spear phishing test, and 19% enter a username and a password. But with training and practice, we can help your employees be your company's best defense against cyber criminals.
Whether you're a small local business or a large corporation, your employees can benefit from cybersecurity training. Visit the Wasatch Security Awareness website for more information. I'm Derek Miller with the Salt Lake Chamber, speaking on business.
Okay, that's good. Whoa, Dave!
Sorry, I'll go grab some paper towels. You can't let Dave pour things. He works at JCW's. They fill stuff up past the brim over there, like their milkshakes. They're thick, rich, and oh my gosh.
Delicious?
Oh no, Dave's filling up Crystal's car for her.
Dave, stop!
Hey, this is Clark for JCW. Stop into any of our 5 locations today. We're located in American Fork, Thanksgiving Point, Provo, South Jordan, and our new location in Harriman. Come in and see why at JCW's we believe in quality, and a lot of it.
This song doesn't have a name, but if it did, it'd probably be something about togetherness, because it's a collaboration, not between pop stars and producers, but between music therapists and kids. Music therapy is a treatment that doesn't involve medication or needles, and it's been proven to help children manage pain and contribute to faster healing. So it shouldn't surprise you, it's our favorite song. and just one way we partner with you for a life well lived. Intermountain Health, the power of we.
A story of first downs and second chances. Meet former pro football player Michael Robinson.
I wanted to keep playing, but my feet hurt.
And all those big league experts couldn't help?
You have access to anything, but none of it worked.
Finally, he got fitted with Good Feet arch supports.
Let me tell you something. They work.
Now, he recommends Good Feet to
anybody. If you move, go to the Good Feet store.
Sign up for your free fitting at goodfeet.com. The children's music and dance teacher who couldn't cha-cha.
I was always on my feet. It was just so painful.
Elisa couldn't let her students down, so she stepped up and went to the Good Feet store for personally fitted arch supports.
I would work an entire day, and my feet didn't hurt at the end of the day. That was when I knew, wow, these are different.
But the really good part?
It's good to be dancing together again.
Stop by or schedule your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Stop by the Good Feet store in Farmington, Riverton, or Sandy for a free fitting. Call 1-800-NEW-FEET or visit goodfeet.com.
We're watching Utah's Money, brought to you by Utah First Credit Union. Fubo TV is suing 3 of the biggest entertainment companies in the world. Fubo bills itself as a sports-focused cable replacement, a streaming service. Their lawsuit says the recent sports streaming agreement between Disney, Fox, and Warner Brothers suppresses competition. Elon Musk says the human they implanted with a Neuralink brain chip can now control a computer mouse just by thinking. Musk, who owns Neuralink, says next they're working on how to click buttons just by thinking, click the OK button on the screen, and then the mouse does it. On Wall Street today, the Dow is down 64 points. The S&P fell 30. The Nasdaq down 144. And one of the world's top tourist sites is still closed. Workers are still on strike.
Eiffel Tower workers extending their strike, demanding that Paris City Hall officials immediately review the monument's business model, which they say is unsustainable, as it overestimates ticket sales and underestimates maintenance costs. This marks the second day the Eiffel Tower has been closed because of the strike. A union representative telling French media there is a chance the strike could continue. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, Paris.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
KSL and the Movie Show will be at My Hearing Centers Friday from 10 to 1. My Hearing Centers changes lives through better hearing. Visit myhearingcenters.com.
There are 2 amazing productions, very different productions, on the stages right now at Hale Center Theater. One is Clue, that I thoroughly enjoyed. It is a madcap comedy, and as I mentioned, it has the greatest death scene I have ever seen on the stage. Then down the hall in the theater in the round, it's Fiddler on the Roof. It is breathtaking. You are going to love both productions that are underway right now at Hale Center Theater, but there's so much more to come. May We All, a country musical, is coming up next. Then The Time Machine, The Nutty Professor, The Addams Family, which is wonderful, and The Magician's Elephant Plus. The season wraps up just before the Christmas production of A Christmas Carol, Disney's Beauty and the Beast. Get your tickets now. Go to hct.org. And be sure to pick up gift cards, too. They're perfect just to slip in a thank you card. Go to hct.org.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes, brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents per gallon. Here's Ricky Meese.
The 201 seeing some backup from a crash westbound at 7200 West back to 5600 West, and that's in addition to the heavy and slow traffic westbound on the 201 between I-15 and Bangor. Southbound I-15 delays stretching from 4500 South off and on all the way to the point of the mountain northbound I-15. That's also heavy and slow South Salt Lake to downtown. Mark?
I feel like because SR 201 is slow heading towards Magna, that is making Mountain View extra heavy as you struggle down SR 201 down to 3500 South. I-15 in Utah County growing in volume between Lehigh Main Street and Geneva Road. Michelle.
Well, now we're seeing delays northbound I-15 leaving downtown. This is going to straggle on up to the north interchange at northbound I-15, I-215. Also looking at some northbound delays if you're on Legacy waiting to join I-15 in Farmington. Attention Wasatch Front businesses and property managers. Have winter conditions damaged your parking lot? Asphalt or concrete surfaces? Call GoPave Utah to get on their schedule. GoPave Utah, GoPaveUtah.com. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
You're listening to Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News
on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM
and 1160 AM.
Good evening, 5:30 at KSL. Jeff Kaplan here. It's 48 degrees. KSL's top story. Ruby Franke and her business partner Jody Hildebrand are both going to prison, and they're going to be there for a while. Sentencing was earlier today. KSL News Radio's Amy Kobabe with the story.
Each were sentenced to 4 consecutive terms of 1 to 15 years. That means each term will be served one after another. They both pled guilty back in December, and they both apologized in court before the sentence was handed down. Here's Franke.
I took from you your mother. How terrifying this must have been for you. I won't ever stop crying for hurting your tender souls. You're so precious to me. I'm sorry.
And here's Hildebrandt from a much shorter statement.
I am willing to submit to what the state feels would be an appropriate amount of time served to make retribution.
This all started back in August when one of Franke's children escaped from a window of Hildebrandt's home to ask neighbors for food and water. Amy Kobabe, KSL News Radio.
Well, KSL legal analyst Greg Skordas joined Utah's Noon News. He said that Franke's remorse during the sentencing could be to her benefit going forward.
Once these two women get out to the prison, the only thing they can do to shorten their time is to accept responsibility, acknowledge the wrongfulness of their conduct, take advantage of any classes or counseling or therapy that they can do, and make the most of their prison time.
Greg Skordas says even though Franke and Hildebrand both received the same sentence, he expects the Board of Pardons will treat Hildebrand more harshly because they see her as the mastermind. A jarring story from Tooele where a child has been taken into custody after allegedly shooting and killing a 32-year-old family member. Again, the suspect is 9 years old. KSL News Radio's Adam Small reports from Tooele.
Police are saying this happened Friday night just before 7:30 at a home not far from West Elementary. Now, we are still working to figure out a lot of unanswered questions like what led up to this, how many shots were fired, how the child is related to the victim, or if the child has been charged. Tooele police say many of their officers have never dealt with a case involving a child so young, so they are just working carefully to handle such a sensitive case.
Police say they hope to have more information later in their investigation. New York's Trump Tower could be seized if the Trump Organization doesn't pay a big fine. Maria Chaleos is live at the KSL National News Desk.
Staff New York Attorney General Letitia James told ABC News that she's prepared to seize Donald Trump's assets if he doesn't come up with last week's $355 million fine. She says there are consequences to decades of fraud.
If average New Yorkers went into a bank and submitted false documents, the government would throw the book at them. And the same should be true of former presidents.
Former president has said he will appeal the fine. Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley is planning a rally in Utah next week. At an event today in South Carolina, she said she doesn't plan to drop out of the race even if she doesn't win in her home state this week.
I refuse to quit. South Carolina will vote on Saturday. But on Sunday, I'll still be running for president. I'm not going anywhere.
Haley is planning a rally at UVU on the morning of February 28th. And the U.S. is vetoing a UN resolution that calls for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. U.S. Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield says the resolution could negatively impact critical hostage negotiations.
While numerous parties engage in sensitive negotiations, this is not the time for this resolution.
which jeopardizes these efforts.
Prime Minister Netanyahu is vowing to press on in the war despite pressure from the UN. Live from the KSL National News Desk, I'm Maria Chaleos, KSL News Radio.
Intermountain will start sending life flights to pick up canines, the police dogs injured in the line of duty.
Police dogs are, they're invaluable to law enforcement. In 200 plus years of innovation, with different tools like tasers and OC spray and all that stuff being invented, nothing has been invented or designed that can replace what a police dog can do for us.
Brigham City Police Chief Chad Ray is there. Canines that are injured will be flown to animal hospitals that have partnered with the program. State lawmakers want police to have more access to security videos. Details on a new bill from KSL News Radio's Alexandria Bonilla.
This bill provides guidelines on when, where, how, and which surveillance cameras police can use to track somebody without a warrant. As of right now, there are little to no guidelines. This bill gives police access to footage in airports, correctional facilities, law enforcement facilities, schools, courthouses, and critical infrastructure buildings like utilities. There are other exceptions as well, like a situation with a high-risk attack that would affect multiple people.
It also adds an accountability factor. Police will be required to log and audit their usage. KSL News Time, 5:35. Let's help you get home here with First Look Traffic. Ricky Meese, what are you seeing?
Well, in Utah County, we have some pretty solid delays now. Southbound I-15 between Pioneer Crossing and American Fork to Linden. And we still have the cleanup of this Magna crash westbound on the 201 at 7200 West on the right. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
And my Minute of News is on the way next. Stay right here.
Spend your workday with a talk show that makes you feel better about the news.
Dave and Dujanovic.
They have a good dynamic between the two of them.
Sometimes I'll take Dave's side and sometimes I'll take Debbie's side.
They're great.
Dave and Debbie, live from 9 to noon, or podcast the show on the app for KSL News Radio.
Senate Bill 210 is a medical emergency at the Utah legislature. Ophthalmologists and optometrists are not the same. Optometrists don't complete medical school, no hospital internship, and no surgical residency. Ophthalmologists are medical doctors with years of surgical training on real patients. Now, optometrists want to perform surgery using lasers on the only eyes you'll ever have. Optometrists are not medical doctors, yet they want Senate Bill 210 to suddenly make them surgeons. Does that make sense to you? Your state senator can help stop this nonsense by voting no. It takes years of training to make a surgeon. No bill can ever change that. Tell your senator to keep Utah eyes safe. Vote no on Senate Bill 210.
Paid for by the Utah Ophthalmology Society.
Adventure awaits in an RV from a Motorsportsland RV Center. Whether you're looking for a motorhome, fifth wheel, travel trailer, toy hauler, or folding trailer, Motorsportsland has hundreds of options to choose from. Our low-pressure advisors are here to help you find the RV you've been dreaming of. Motorsportsland invites you to any of our 3 locations in Mill Creek, Salt Lake City, or Spanish Fork to see a huge selection of premium RVs to fit any camping style and budget. We've also got an incredible selection of pre-owned and clearance-priced models to choose from. When you buy from Motorsportsland, you're supporting a local, family-owned business, and you get a hassle-free buying experience without the hidden fees and high-pressure tactics of the national RV chains. Find your next adventure in an RV from a Motorsportsland RV Center and let us help you get away.
Let Motorsportsland help you get away.
Motorsportsland.com.
Getting help with electrical repairs is easier than you think. All you have to do is call Any Hour Services or schedule an appointment at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. We seem to be in a love-hate relationship with Hollywood. A lot of Utahns sneer at the self-importance of the stars and despise Hollywood's left-leaning morality. But when Tinseltown cranks out an Avengers or a Star Wars movie, we stuff the theaters full of Utahns' biggest ticket sales in America, so it's a love-hate relationship. And if you lean toward the hate, there's good news from OpenAI. The artificial intelligence company that created ChatGPT has invented AI that can make videos. You just type a one-paragraph description of what the video should look like, and this AI called Sora creates a realistic video. No cameras, no actors, no assistant directors, just you sitting at the computer typing that you want 2 pirate ships going into battle inside a cup of coffee. And boom, realistic video. Go ahead and Google it. You'll see that video. So in the future, you can have ChatGPT write the script, Sora creates the video, and suddenly Tinseltown is replaced by you and a decent laptop. It might be a ways off, but actors, makeup artists, writers, even the guy who snaps that slate could be replaced by computers. Hollywood becomes Hollywouldn't. But also, Sora could be able to create convincing deepfakes of your favorite candidate, or even you doing the most unsavory and illegal things. Sure, it could kill Hollywood, but this technology could also destroy your reputation. So Hollywood haters, best be careful what you wish for.
Say goodbye to Hollywood. Say goodbye, my baby.
Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents per gallon. So, Ricky, what's going on?
We still have this crash over to the right shoulder westbound on the 21st South Freeway at 7200 West in Magna. It is part of the delays now passing 5600 West. If you're southbound on I-15, it's a slow drive from 4500 South to Bluffdale. Northbound I-15, heavy and slow from South Salt Lake to North Temple. Mark?
Well, wet set of freeways down in Utah County, north and southbound I-15 likely adding to the delays. UDOT Jam Cam shows southbound I-15 very heavy at Pleasant Grove Boulevard. I don't see any lanes blocked. Northbound's not as bad, but sluggish north of Pleasant Grove to 5th East American Fork. Redwood Road's bogging down Bluffdale, down past Porter Rockwell. Bangor has improved through West Valley, but Mountain View is still very heavy. SR 201 down to 3500 South. Michelle.
Well, you're going to be tapping the brakes if you're making way northbound I-15 leaving downtown. This is going in spots up to the North Salt Lake interchange. Also, for drivers, if you're on Legacy Parkway, that is a really slow ride right now as you're making your way through Centerville, waiting to join I-15. Once you get past those delays, you're looking free and clear all the way through Ogden on I-15, but we do have some slowing. This is on US 89 around Harrison Boulevard. Show your true colors with Spirited Art Collections while supporting local businesses during Park City Galleries Association Gallery Stroll, the last Friday of each month. Visit ParkCityGalleryAssociation.com, supported by Summit County tax grants. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
A bit of a lull here along the Wasatch Front, but we do have more rain coming tonight. That rain will last in the overnight and through the day on Wednesday. Look for totals anywhere from 1/4 of an inch to almost 3/4 of an inch in the valleys and the mountains. Get an additional 8 to 14 inches of snow. Storm will linger through Wednesday night and then taper off, partly cloudy. 40s on Thursday, 50s on Friday. Sunshine to start the weekend with temperatures climbing to the mid-50s by Sunday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
You know, you don't think about it down here. We're 48 degrees in Salt Lake City on the valley floor. We haven't seen a single flake of snow, but there's high avalanche risk up in the mountains. We're going to go in depth coming up. This is KSL News Radio. Stay with us. We're streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com. We're on the app. This is Utah's news, traffic, and weather station. Spring is still a month away. This is the time of year when you need something to look forward to, and there's just nothing on the calendar. So let me suggest you make a reservation at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Go to the Symphony or get theater tickets or basketball tickets and start your evening at Ruth's Chris downtown, or soak up some beautiful Utah on the way to Ruth's Chris Park City. Either way, you can look forward to an amazing experience. Ruth's Chris, this is true, served me the best steak I've ever had in my life. I mean, I didn't eat it as much as I savored it. At one point, I asked my wife for silence. Shh. So I could concentrate on the flavor. It was that good. The sides are amazing. They're known for the steak, but the chicken, the lamb, the seafood, they're cooked to perfection too. Perfect date night for any special occasion, or if you make your own occasion, they're going to treat you like gold. Ruth's Chris. Make your reservation. 2 locations, downtown and Park City. I love Ruth's Chris. You will too.
They say it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert. You may not have that kind of time for weatherization, energy efficiency, and appliance rebates, but we do. Dominion Energy's ThermWise program has experts who know where and how to save money. They help homeowners and businesses find simple ways to conserve natural gas and rebates through upgrades that may help to save even more. We put our energy into helping you conserve it, so you can spend your 10,000 hours becoming an expert in what matters to you. Start with a home energy plan at thermwise.com.
Dominion Energy's ThermWise program experts help you save money. Start now at thermwise.com.
Right now might just be the perfect time to upgrade your living space to one that has, well, a little more space. You've earned the equity in your home. It's now time to put it to good use. Whether it's opening up a cramped or dated floor plan, adding a little more luxury to your bath, or finally building the kitchen of your dreams, Golden West Credit Union has a home equity line of credit for a low introductory rate of 5.49% APR fixed for 6 months. With a Golden West home equity credit line, you'll save money with no fees or closing costs. And Golden West makes accessing the equity in your home easy with a Visa Platinum Card. Start making the most of your equity today and make your plans a reality. Apply at any branch, online at gwcu.org, or on our mobile app. Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 440574.
We'll take care of you.
KSL News Time 5:45. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
YouTuber Ruby Franke and her business partner Jody Hildebrandt are both sentenced to serve 4 consecutive prison sentences of 1 to 15 years. They both pled guilty to aggravated child abuse last year. I'm KSL News Radio's Amy Coben.
Second, Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley is reportedly coming to Utah next week. She plans to hold a rally at UVU. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
A tow truck finally on the scene, and so this crash is in the cleanup stages in Magna, westbound on the 201 at 7200 West, backing traffic past 5600 West. Legacy also seeing delays northbound going from Bountiful through Centerville. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Temperatures still in the 50s with another round of rain on the way. I'm Kevin Eubank.
48 at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios now. Our top national stories.
ABC News, I'm Daria Albinger. The magistrate overseeing the detention of Alex Smirnov, an alleged FBI informant charged with lying to the Bureau about Hunter Biden, has been released under certain conditions, one that he must wear an ankle monitor. A missing 11-year-old Texas girl has been found. Audrey Cunningham's body was discovered in the Trinity River in Polk County, Texas. Sheriff Byron Lyons.
We have transported Audrey down to the Harris County Medical Examiner's office. At that time, we will await their results to be able to determine the cause and method of her death.
A man who was living in a trailer behind Audrey's home is expected to be charged in her death. Missouri prosecutors charged 2 men in last week's deadly shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl victory celebration. New York's Attorney General says she will seize former President Trump's assets if he can't or won't pay the $355 million judgment in his civil fraud case. This is ABC News.
Time now for the KSL In-Depth. Utah's mountains and ski resorts got pounded with fresh snow and strong wind today. Alta says everyone in the area will have to stay inside starting at 1 a.m. in the morning because of the high avalanche threat. The interlodge order will last till around 8:30 a.m. Utah Avalanche Center forecaster Dave Kelly joined Maria on Utah's Noon News today to explain what areas are at the highest risk now.
Yeah, so what we're finding is that the areas of highest avalanche danger right now are going to be the highest alpine terrain, which is up above the tree line throughout most of the central Wasatch area, and that avalanche danger is considerable. Those upper elevations for wind-drifted snow avalanches. And then we're also seeing a higher risk avalanche area on the southern, the eastern, and the western aspects, where we have a thin layer of facets associated with a crust that's buried down now under about 2.5 feet of snow.
Yeah, so maybe describe a little bit more some of those factors that are contributing to the danger.
Yeah, so what we had some cold, clear weather right before Valentine's Day, and that light, dry snow that came in at Valentine's Day capped those very weak, sugary grains of snow. And so what we have is weak, sugary snow, and now we've put a very heavy cream cheese-like frosting over the top of it. And then you tip that up at a higher slope angle, and we're starting to see avalanches triggered on that layer. This weekend was particularly busy, where we had 5 to 7 avalanches that were human triggered within the backcountry area. And then since we've started to see more stormy weather in the last 2 days, we've had fewer reports of avalanches in the backcountry.
All right. What is your advice for those who still want to hit the slopes?
Yeah, if people are getting out into the backcountry, we advise that you check out the most up-to-date avalanche forecast at utahavalanchecenter.org. And we have forecasts that extend all the way down in the Moab area mountains, all the way north to the Logan area mountains.
Now, one more thing to tell you about UDOT has announced a full backcountry closure on the north side of Little Cottonwood Canyon from 10 o'clock tonight through early tomorrow morning, no specific time. KSL News Time, 5:49 now. Your traffic and weather together every 10 minutes. It's brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents per gallon. Here's Ricky Meese.
Delays southbound I-15 from 4500 South Murray through Draper. Northbound I-15 delays are easing, but it's still a little heavy and slow from 33rd South to 6th South. Westbound on the 201, the delays will start after Bangerter Highway and continue into Magna, where we have the crash at 7200 West on the right. Mark?
It's been very heavy in Utah County, really some wet roads, but I don't see any lanes blocked or problems. Southbound I-15, worst of the delays, Lehigh Main Street down to Geneva Road. Not as bad, but still sluggish up from Pleasant Grove Boulevard to 5th East American Fork. Redwood Road's going to take you extra time. Headed Bluffdale to Camp Williams. Bangerter looks better. Mountain View still heavy SR 201 to 3500 South. Michelle.
Well, Foothill Drive is looking better, but we still have delays. This is northbound I-15 going from Salt Lake all the way to the I-215 and I-15 interchange. Then you're seeing more delays as you're trying to make Legacy. This is going northbound from Bountiful into Centerville as you're trying to join I-15 in by the Farmington split. Once you get past that, though, you're seeing good speeds on I-15 all the way up to Brigham City. A free service for LDS singles powered by a professional matchmaker. Join the free virtual speed dating event from February 24th. Go to matchmakingsaints.com. Matchmakingsaints.com. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast has another round of storms tonight and tomorrow. More valley rain and mountain snow. Lows in the mid to upper 30s with highs in the 40s. Storm will taper off by Wednesday night. Partly cloudy on Thursday, then mostly sunny on Friday and Saturday. Beautiful weekend. Highs in the 50s, lows in the 30s. We'll go partly cloudy Sunday ahead of another storm that'll move in Monday. That'll start as valley rain and then mix over to snow by Tuesday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
48 degrees, your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. Well, a spaceship is closing in on the moon. It'll just be a few days before it arrives. The story's
Jeff
next.
Caplan's Afternoon News, only on KSL News Radio.
This is Lisa Nichols from Intermountain Health with Your Life, Your Health. Intermountain Health's hospital-level care at home program has reached an important milestone to safely and effectively treating 1,000 patients at home since May 2020, instead of keeping them in the hospital. This innovative program is available for patients with qualifying acute or chronic conditions who live near 16 Intermountain hospitals in Utah, from Logan to St. George. The service is provided through Castell, the population health entity of Intermountain Health. Dr. Nathan Starr, internal medicine physician and medical director of home services for Castell and Intermountain Health's telehospitalist program, says the goal of the program is to be able to offer patients the right level of care in the right place at a lower cost. Intermountain Hospital Level Care at Home is available to patients who meet specific clinical and non-clinical criteria and come in through an emergency department visit or have been admitted to the hospital and qualify for early transfer home. Services are provided by in-person caregiver visits by Intermountain, as well as remote monitoring and virtual visits by telehealth providers located at Intermountain's virtual hospital in Murray. To be eligible for the program, patients can have select health insurance, Medicare Advantage, Medicaid, or self-pay. The program is working to expand its services in 2024 to traditional Medicare and Medicaid patients in Utah. I'm Lisa Nichols with Intermountain Health on KSL News Radio.
On March 5th at 7 p.m., something extraordinary is happening in Utah. The Utah Republican Caucus. It's not just a meeting. It's a gathering of neighbors, friends, and like-minded people, united in the pursuit of a stronger state and nation. Come discuss the principles that Utah has and needs. Elect delegates that reflect the heartbeat of our communities. You'll help rescue our nation's future by voting for your preferred Republican presidential candidate. Registered Republicans, show up, be heard. Visit utgop.org to find your local caucus. Paid for by the Utah Republican Party.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
Do you ever feel like getting your supplies for your CPAP is just a huge headache? Hi, I'm Jay Broadbent with Alpine Home Medical. We'll say goodbye to the hassle and hello to a stress-free life with our CPAP resupply service. Signing up is a breeze. Just place a call, choose your products, and leave the insurance billing and shipping to us. Our discreet packaging prioritizes your privacy, and we always ensure an on-time delivery. No more trips to the store or worrying about running out of important supplies. We get how crucial your CPAP therapy is, so don't let the stress of keeping up with it affect your sleep and health. Join Alpine Resupply today and enjoy a tranquil night's sleep with all your CPAP essentials. Visit us at alpinehomemedical.com.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
That's alpinehomemedical.com.
It's the question that's been on everybody's mind, and it's about to be answered. When will Gillette Heating and Air offer plumbing services?
You want to know?
Yeah! The answer is now. To celebrate, Gillette is offering a free tankless water heater when you buy a high-efficiency heating and cooling system. For a limited time while supplies last, call Gillette today for heating, AC, and now plumbing. Call 385-GET-HEAT.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
We're watching Utah's Money, brought to you by Utah First Credit Union. As its lunar lander gets ever closer to the moon, stock in the company that made it continues to rise. Intuitive Machines up 65% today as their spacecraft streaks toward a soft landing on the moon just 3 days from now. If successful, it'll be the first soft landing since 1972. For the first time in 5 years, American Airlines is raising baggage fees. $40 to check a bag. If you pay online, it's $35. And on Wall Street, the Dow is down 64, the S&P down 30, the NASDAQ fell 144 points. Time now for Cougar Tracks. Here's KSL Sports BYU insider Mitch Harper.
BYU basketball stayed in the AP Top 25 poll this week, checking in at number 25. It sets the stage for a Top 25 clash tonight at the Marriott Center against number 11 Baylor. Baylor is making their first trip to Provo since 2011. In that season, number 6 Baylor escaped an upset bid from BYU with an 86-83 victory. Baylor head coach Scott Drew remembers that game and the atmosphere in the Marriott Center.
Going into that game, we heard how what a great environment and what great fans BYU had. And I remember that was an outstanding game, came down to the last seconds, and one of the louder places we played in and have played in, period. Great respect for their fan base and just their game management, how they do things.
BYU versus Baylor tips off tonight at 7 p.m. with pregame coverage beginning at 6 right here on KSL and the KSL News Radio app. With Cougar Tracks, I'm Mitch Harper on your legacy home of the BYU Cougars, KSL News Radio.
The BYU preview just 3 minutes away.
Right now at Staples, you can print like a pro and save like a boss. Introducing the new HP OfficeJet Pro all-in-one printers. Professional HP quality, blazing HP speeds. Perfect for printing color presentations, flyers, brochures, and more at the home office or the office. And now at Staples, HP OfficeJet Pro printers are up to $90 off. So you can print and save like a pro. For the best deals on America's most trusted printer brand, HP, shop Staples today. Ends 3/2. Offer good in-store and online.
Shop can't-miss deals on appliances this President's Day at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $75 on every $750 you spend on all major appliances, like LG, America's most reliable line of home appliances. Shop in-store or online for more deals you can't beat. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 2/28. Savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for more details.
The nationally ranked Cougars are on a roll.
Foose dives low, wait, up, and good! Drops it over the 10 for 2.
Tonight, it's BYU, Baylor.
It's out to Robinson, long three. Oh, man! He just made a 30-footer!
Pregame is at 6 and tip-off at 7. Listen tonight, BYU, Baylor, on Utah's legacy home of Big 12 basketball and the BYU Cougars. KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents per gallon. What about it, Ricky?
Well, the crash has cleared westbound on the 201 at 7200 West. We still have lingering delays, and slowdowns persist southbound to I-15 Murray through Draper. Mark?
Still have delays Lake Point to Stansbury Park, traveling on SR 36 Mountain View from SR 201 to 3500 South. Redwood Road, Bluffdale to Camp Williams. I-15 between American Fork and Linden. Michelle.
Northbound I-15 still just a little slow as you're making your way through Rose Park and North Salt Lake. Also still seeing some delays for drivers making their way northbound on Legacy Parkway as you're waiting to join I-15 at the Farmington Split. Get your money working at America First Credit Union with amazing rates on certificates up to 5.5% APY for a limited time. Visit americafirst.com today to learn more. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 9. So here's the deal. We get more rain tonight. We're headed down to 37 degrees tomorrow. Same story, rain showers. We're expecting a high of 48. The showers finally come to an end tomorrow night. We get a dry day on Thursday. We'll catch you tomorrow afternoon.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
The following is a presentation of the new skin, BYU Sports Network. BYU Cougars basketball is on the air.
Up high to Robinson, pull, fire, score! For 3! Action Jackson!
Whoa. This is Cougar Pregame Live, brought to you by Mountain America, the official credit union of BYU Athletics. To get you ready for BYU versus Baylor, here's your host, Jason Shepard.
Good evening.